the last session, we had a talk with Liu Xu, and a very old woman, and her bonded entity companion, or bonded Vega companion. Learned quite a bit, which I said I was going to go through and pull out the confirmations for you, and didn't actually do so, but we still got Ginja's list of. I think Ginja's list is more a list of conclusions that you've drawn from the confirmations.
Yeah, it was kind of more of a possession-y focused thing of it.
Yeah.
Of like how mechanically the possession actually ends up working.
Mm-hmm. You also found yourself faced with a choice from Dragon General Tajima Shiro. After you had provided him with the information that you hoped to change his mind on Henry Station, you were successful. He is no longer asking you to destroy Henry Station. What he's asking instead is to be decided and revealed to you in this game. But because you had rolled so well in the negotiations with him, I created 3 options and told you that you can eliminate one of them, and I will roll from the to their left today to determine what he presents. Now, it has been 2 weeks and my memory has not been great. Have I missed any other highlights from our last session?
I feel like something happened at the end of last session that involved. Yeah, Percy and Yoken had a chat, didn't they? I think.
Percy and Miyokin, I do believe, had a chat, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say Miyoken and Kami?
Yeah, they also had a chat. Well, they had
something. They had something.
They had a silence.
They had tea.
But it was a more companionable silence than they're used to.
Yeah, there were some questions about why, actually, I don't think you guys did know. There were questions about why both of them were made themselves scarce.
Yeah,
we
know one of them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Kana has actually revealed much of her reasoning for that, has she?
I think she told Percy.
Okay, she did tell Percy that she did desert her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's go ahead and bring us into focus. The frame, that's the word I'm looking for. Bring it into frame. That real quick. Alright. I see we've got some strange things going on again. With so-called numbers.
I mean, those are definitely some numbers.
I'm gonna stick with so-called, yeah.
Sense. It's been 246 sessions since we've had a near party wipe.
Which is better, but not as good as it was before, but we're getting there.
Oh no, if you count it as 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 6.
To the power of 6. Terrifying.
I just didn't have enough time, so we had to slant everything. Or enough space.
God.
Which is ironic in a game about space.
Yeah.
Especially when I keep saying space is big as my excuse for things. Alright, I'm gonna move you over to the ship screen here.
Aside, I'm maintaining that everything outside of this sector is continuing on after each cycle, and it's just been 15,000 years. Everyone else is totally fine. It's only this sector that gets reset.
Does the fact that I do not I need to turn you
Can
up
you
a little
imagine?
bit, there, Nox. What was that?
I'm gonna say how
Oh, I
it's
said-
the rest of the universe.
I said the rest of the universe is going on there. At this point, they have like super high tech, and then we're just stuck. In...
Oh yeah, yeah. They're everywhere else is like tier 6 now.
Yeah, we're basically a bunch of Neanderthals stuck in a loop. Oh wait, no,
Only tier
America's
six.
event from Stellaris.
We were a fourth world star map.
So
Oh,
does it
dear.
change anything if I tell you that the sector is not localized to one part of the galaxy?
No.
Okay.
Nah, metaspace bubble.
Okay.
Dex, you expect something so mundane as evidence to dissuade us?
I wanted to give it a chance.
Look, when you have a conspiracy theory, you can't disprove it by, facts.
Thanks. It's been at least 246 sessions. You should know this by now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it might have been across all. No. One of them was very short. Oh, but then there was the war. It might have been 240 plus sessions of Darkstar in total.
And you're never letting it die.
Okay.
Do your best, Dex.
Oh, was that?
Do your best, Dex.
I sure will. So let's start with the offer, the choice you've got ahead of you. Did you decide what you want to remove from the offers?
So
I think
most of
I was going to say,
most
I think
of
I
the-
leaned. God damn it! I'm sorry.
Lulu, go ahead.
It's okay. Oh damn. Okay.
I think I agree with the idea that we should probably remove the Henry Station one.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the group didn't weigh in, I don't think, but yeah, as Ken just said, it does feel like taking a sports car to the shops. Nox, you were. I checked with you. I think you were okay with like having a UIS person on the ship.
With that asterisk.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
In spite of the obvious issues that it creates, I still vote for rather than against infiltrate Tiamat shipyard. So I would like to leave that one on the board as much as possible.
Fine. We can just
Yeah.
put a mustache on Kana for the duration of their presence.
I've been working on a mask, so we could just wear a mask.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I do think that it should be fairly possible to convince Tajimashio that you are a fully invaluable asset. I mean, look at this shit. His own people will corroborate that after they see you fly. Just like, like they'll be sending back a message like, okay, yeah, so we're heading towards March. We should be there in 3 weeks. Next day, we've arrived somehow. And like, you're simply too valuable of an asset to let go to waste, especially when, as long as we're friends with UIS, you're working in their interests. So I think we are overall in favor of infiltrating Tiamat shipyard, I think, slightly. And wanting to remove Disrupt Henry Station from the list. I think. Any objections?
I am fine with removing Henry Station from it, though.
Yep.
Okay.
The other nice thing about infiltrating the Tiamat shipyard is that we can go and get repairs immediately before we do anything. But yeah, I do really hope that like he said, he asked the wizard to help UIS infiltrate the shipyard. I really hope he has a good plan, because we're going to need one.
All right. Well, taking disrupt Henry Station off the board leaves disrupt Tiamat and infiltrate Tiamat shipyard, guaranteeing that he's going to ask you to do something in Tiamat.
Yeah.
So, do one of you want to roll it, or do you want to leave those the dice to me?
I don't trust my luck. Does one of you want to roll it, or?
I think we should flip a coin on who gets to flip the coin.
Oh dear. How can you flip a coin for that? There's 6 of us.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us. We can just roll a d5.
Digital dice, baby.
5, yeah. And also, I don't want in on this.
We got
as well.
the decks.
You
Okay.
could also
I don't. True. D5. I don't want in on this. I don't trust my luck even for lands on
No,
me.
here's the thing. We need to include you because then fate will have
Do we?
decided you need to do it.
Yeah.
Ah shit. Ah shit. Come on, there's like a 1 in 6 chance. What are they on?
All right.
What are the odds? 1 in 6.
1 Dex,
1 in 6.
2 Ginja, 3 Meowkin, 4 Nox,
Yeah,
5
Discord order.
Barrel, and 6 Lulu.
Okay.
Roll
so
it, Dex.
Rolling it.
all right,
Here
I'll
we
roll
go.
that. All right, it's viral.
It had to be you.
Fate decided
It
it.
was always you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I said
The
I don't
dice-
want it in on this, I'm not gonna. As soon as someone mentioned fate, I was like, it's absolutely gonna land on me, and so I started hamming it up just in case it was, and then it was.
The dice give us and the dice take us.
But mostly the dice.
Roll
Okay.
it. Roll
yes.
our doom.
Give me a second, just to decide how I feel about it.
Okay, either way, we're ending up team at, so no pressure.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1 through 3 we infiltrate Tiamat. 4 through 6 we disrupt Tiamat.
You can just roll a d2.
No, it's D6 is funner.
Meh.
Okay.
1 through 3 infiltrate. 4 through 6 disrupt. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Damn it. Okay. Okay with this.
All right.
Disrupt it is.
Me? Put a little check mark on that.
Are you sure we can't argue him up to infiltrate?
That will be difficult considering that if he's offering, he's coming back and asking you to disrupt Tiamat, means he has already made some assessments about his fleet and choices available to him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah, so we get some of a payment immediately, and then we go and disrupt Tiamat, and a few months later we get a bigger payment. Nice.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
last we left off, people were scattered. There were some people still on planet. Percy had gone back up to the ship. You've got accommodations on the planet, so people that are planet side don't need to have gone back up to the ship just to sleep.
Mhm.
You could, of course, but that would involve either. Let's see. Did you guys ever get a cargo lighter? You've got a cargo lighter, right?
Yeah.
Do we?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would just involve going through the regular port of entry stuff every time you want to land and come back.
Mhm.
It is, of course, easier to stay on planet, especially when it's comped for you.
Hmm.
But I don't want to take away the opportunity for anyone to finish up whatever business or leisure they want to do down on planet.
Mm.
I know that there was some karaoke and there was some shopping.
Well, personally, the business luxury leisure that I wanted to do was the meeting with Taj Mashiro, the next one where we talk about what we're going to do next.
Okay.
I would like to call a team huddle. I would like to call a team huddle before that, once everyone's back. But
All
you know,
right.
you'll do your thing.
There is one thing I think we could do if so. Dex, you mentioned it would be difficult to argue Taj Mashiro up to infiltrating the Tiamat shipyard, correct?
Shit, I was joking.
I did.
You don't actually want to do that?
I mean, yes, but I was joking because I didn't think it was a realistic possibility. The dice land where they land.
what I was going to argue is that it might be hard to argue up to the full benefit, but making an initial infiltration before we go for the disrupt plan, just to assess the situation more accurately as it currently stands, and getting some additional pay for that. Or additional support to do that, and to get a broader view of Union's overall plans and goals for it might be feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, not getting up to the full benefit of infiltrating the Tiamat shipyard, but sort of getting up to a partial splitting of the difference.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. The disrupt Tiamat role is just what he's come up with as an assessment of what forces he can spare, what finances he can spare, rewards and all that. How much he can put UIS and specifically Shinobu out there on the board. And the assessment has come down on disrupt Tiamat is where he's at, and where he thinks the best use of his expendable resources is at. You guys.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
I've already made the argument in here before that my primary interest isn't in the shipyard per se, but in the ruins on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You've mentioned it once or twice, yes.
I've mentioned it like once per session, yes.
Like once or 12, yes.
Yeah. But I think making the argument that I know he doesn't fully believe that what we've explained to him of the situation as of yet, but having an assessment of that of those may be beneficial for further plans, and getting a bit more support in order to make that assessment might be useful to us if we're going to be there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's from his personal account or on the account of UIS is up to him. In that regard, I'll trust his judgment.
Yeah, what I'll say about these is that normally this kind of decision making process on his part wouldn't be exposed to you guys, but I felt as a GM that the three of them were too interesting for me to just let them sit and roll behind the scenes. So I wanted to also reward you for the diplomacy. But his decision here doesn't affect what you guys can go out and do. If you want to go out and infiltrate the shipyard and bring back data, and then make an argument to him for why UIS should take over the shipyard out there, then he will. That's the way we'll play. That is the sandbox that we'll play in.
Okay.
I'm all for that.
We'd actually need to go there and back to accomplish that.
Yeah.
See, the tricky part about that is, well, no, I suppose that's doable. I was going to say the tricky part about that is that the core of our strategy is use the fucking infraworld bridge builder to disrupt whatever metaspace fuckery is protecting Tiamat, which may change what days it's available on. We don't know. If it does, it's going to be difficult to get UIS forces back in. But I suppose they can place a scout outside and watch for any Union folks managing to come out, which they just take as a sign of, okay, yeah, no, today's the day that we can go.
Will 500,000 credits be enough to actually reconstruct the drive back to Drive 6?
I think Genja said it's like halfway enough. Not taking into consideration everything the stuff that we have.
Okay.
Genja? You there?
They're partially AFK. They said.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. Genja mentioned something about the drive needs 20,000 spare parts, and we have spare parts are what 50,000 credits per 1,000 spare parts.
They're 50 credits each.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So 20 times 50 is 1,000, so it's 1,000,000 credits. Not taking into consideration any parts that we have, we may be due for a salvaging trip.
a thing to keep in mind is that we only get the reward.
Oh no, we
never
get the
mind. I was thinking about the
500,000. We
loan.
get 500,000 up front.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
if
about the loan.
Yeah, once we have the full overall reward, that's plenty enough. We do currently have 7,000 odd spare parts, so we're actually like plus that reward. If we dump that into buying spare parts, we're actually pretty close to being able to upgrade the drive back to 6.
We could, with personal funding, we might actually be able to get up there.
Or alternatively, we could just stop off and salvage on the way.
Yeah,
That's also a thing we can do.
there's an option. It's more that if we've got the immediate wartime services and want to do this, like access this now, we'd need to put in personal funds.
Yeah.
So I think the 500,000 needs to be done like now, otherwise we don't have access to it later.
Well, my understanding was that, like, we have that before or after as we please. We also have 2 million after when we please. Once it's authorized. But yeah, what was I going to add to that? Yeah, I do think either way, we stop off and salvage on the way, because, like, I suppose technically he hasn't offered this job to us yet. This is something what I wanted to stop by and have the team huddle about.
I mean, we can't go to Tiamat until we have that drive repaired. So it stands to reason that we can claim that those
Claim that,
immediate services whenever.
Yeah.
Actually, that's actually a good point. If we can't go to there once the drive is repairs, we can. There is something we can do, because we still need to visit Onalau.
Let me see.
Are you saying we can't go there until the drive's repaired?
Yeah, we can't make a 6-hex jump without repairing the drive.
Can we get to Onalau?
Wait.
Tiamat's only a 3-hex jump.
I was gonna say, why don't
Is
we
it?
make a 6-hex jump?
Yeah, we're sure it was something like that. Yeah.
Why don't we go there? That's actually useful. If we already have one of his red dragons aboard after agreeing to this mission, taking them there, because that is a lot. That area has a lot of evidence we need for proving this state of the situation.
What, to Tiamat?
Not to Tiamat, to Onalau, because that would be the evidence we already have.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
So
yeah,
doing
because
that
like, if you
now, right.
If you were going to say straight to Tiamat, I was going to go, don't forget, we kind of need the info drive so that we have the definitely safe out. But yeah, that works.
If we go to Onalau, we can salvage on the way there, and we can get, if we're taking a red guard there, we can give them an overview of the situation as it currently stands with the information on Onalau, which we can then take back to Shiro as a reliable source for him.
Yeah. Tajima's already sent off some people to check out the Angelic Choir stuff. There was that one location we wanted to show. Is this for the other Angelic Choir service, or is it different?
This is a different thing. Sos is the not Sos.
Okay, yeah.
Is it Sos?
Cool.
Onalau's a bit further away, but Onalau would be. Onalau is where I am.
Clarified. Actually, you know again, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to have in our team huddle. Finish doing what you're doing on the planet, then we'll have this conversation in character.
Yeah, let me refocus this real quick. Where the party is split, with some characters on planet and some characters on the ship. I think actually only Percy is on the ship, because Das has gone down to just kind of vacation, right? Or is Das still on ship? Have I misremembered?
No, I think Das went with Virginia.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yeah.
Because Das is the only one that can guaranteed pass the check to read the detector.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, there are some folks on the ship, Percy, and most of the crew are on planet. you've had some days, and this is still as you're taking what is the word there? You're loading the energy arms onto your ship, presumably using your cargo lighter.
Mm.
So Percy probably isn't on the ship the entire time. I imagine he probably wants to be present for guarding, or is he just leaving that to your NPCs?
Uh,
Which he can.
I'm not really doing much anyway. I'll go be involved in that.
Okay. All right. And once that's been all packed up and loaded, you still haven't heard word from Tajimashiro yet that he's considered the information and come to a decision. Do you want to stay on the planet for a bit more, or are you guys going to go back up to the ship? I will tell you that your NPC crew, unless they are told, are not leaving their shore leave early.
You know what? Fair. Can't say I blame them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what was the question again, Dex?
Oh dear.
I had taken you out of the calculus there, or I had taken Kana out of the calculus because I knew that she was not going down to the planet.
I know, it was just funny.
Yeah, no, I get it. The question was, are your characters enjoying shore leave along with your crew that are also sitting here and enjoying their shore leave? Or do you want to be just going straight up the ship and back to business?
I think I'm enjoying shore leave.
Okay.
It feels like Doug would. Yeah, Virgilia would probably enjoy much time on planet
Oh yeah, I bet.
after being stuck on Aldrima.
Yeah. New
For
things.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Yeah.
Das still on planet?
Yeah, I should probably stay down there a little bit.
All right. And sorry, what was that, Nux?
Said come back with some space fashion. Anything gray jump.
And what about Percy? Does he stay down after overseeing the cargo transfer? It's all been loaded up to your ship now.
Yeah, in that case, basically just poke the others. Where are you all?
You can all gather at some central point, or remain scattered for all I care.
No, we're gathering up.
Okay, gathering up.
This is it. This is it. We're gathering up.
It sounds like you've got a plan in mind. What's that plan?
Yeah, the plan is, as I mentioned, we basically talk shop. We finished that conversation. We talk shop about what's going on and what we are planning on doing next.
Okay.
Well,
keep in mind that Shiro has not yet told you his plan.
I'm aware of that.
Okay.
I'm aware of that.
Would it be possible to get some info on this elite red dragon that we're going to be harboring?
We don't know that.
Yeah, that.
We don't know it yet, actually.
Mm-hmm. It's correct.
Would Myokan know it?
No, because
Shiro
Shiro hasn't told you what he's going to ask for yet.
Okay.
You know what? I can't feel like we should just delay until like the conversation earlier distracted me from what it was that I wanted us to talk about. I can't feel like we should just wait until Shiro gets in contact with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's easy enough. Does anybody have anything that they want to do? Sorry, I just ran right over you there, Nux.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just making color commentary.
All right. If nobody has anything that they absolutely want to do, then no problem. You can head on back to the port one last time, and excuse me. Oh, just as an aside, Meowkin, conversation came up in the Stars Discord about Ironhide yesterday, and
Oh yeah.
Oh,
not yesterday, Friday. Yeah, Friday, I think. And I was kind of curious. How do you imagine Doug's Ironhide? With my abstraction of hit points, meaning that every attack that
You're-
hits isn't necessarily a physical impact. What do you think his Ironhide looks like?
I've been kind of thinking like the remarkable, because it mentions, uncanny reflex, remarkable luck, the engineer skin fibers. For me, it's pretty much remarkable luck for Doug.
Okay.
So, like, I guess, like, even if he gets hit, it always somehow seems to be somewhere, not vital.
Right, or when a hit is rolled, it's less that he gets hit and more that he just happened to duck back behind cover to reload at that one moment when bullets fly past where his face was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's very confident walking into places. It doesn't really have a good reason to be, except that it always seems to work out for him.
The universe is iron hiding him.
nice.
He's got plot armor.
He does. He does. Excuse me. Alright. I've also talked at length in the Stars Discord that I really feel like assassinations on PCs should be forecast quite well, and I haven't done that at all. So, as you guys are returning to the docks with Percy, Percy's alert hide freaks up, and nobody is getting execution attacked.
Yeah.
Are we getting assassinated?
No, because I'm quick on the uptake, but yes.
Yeah, if
I mean, I guess it's about time.
Right? I wondered if I wasn't being offensive enough or something.
You guys have legitimately been in places where I have not felt I could have forces attack you quite as easily, or you've not been in certain places long enough. And so I'm saving this for a review question, but I may have been playing too close to realism for the fun of the combat. But here we are now. I'm going to... Do I have a blank gridless grid? I don't. I've got all kinds of full gridless grids. Let's make an extra one. Only needs the map. And since Percy has been up on the ship and gone back on the planet, I believe he has Kana's Tonto with him.
Yep.
And with the new gridless grid put up, let's go ahead and get some initiatives rolls. This will be everyone that was on planet and is currently heading back. Bridge crew only. I don't believe you had any NPCs with you at this juncture.
All right, should we drag ourselves on? I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do this for you. Some of you also. Yes. Did you already get yourself, Doug? Or
Yep.
Malkin?
Man, I do love having advantage on initiative rolls.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, sorry. Who all is present in the scene?
Just the four of you.
Am I included in the four of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Oh goodness, that is
Big.
yeah. Well, that's fine.
My God, it's the largest assassin of all time.
Holy shit.
How did we miss
Two
it?
of them.
There's two of them.
Three.
Two of them.
4.
I'm multiplying. 5.
5.
Oh,
6.
concern. At this point, we're just reading numbers.
Yes, pretty much.
Just ninjas and giant mechs.
So we do
So-
not have any NPCs with us.
Do not correct. Although I suppose that really should be your decision. Do you think that you would have been hanging out with the NPCs at the time when you decided it's time to go back to the ship?
I mean, probably.
Uh,
I probably would have been, but
Which NPCs would likely have been? Because I'm trying to think of where Percy would have been. Finishing overseeing the moving of stuff.
No, you guys had already done that, and you said that Percy gathered everyone. I assume you guys went to do some planet side shore crew fun stuff, but I didn't want to demand to know what that was because it sounded like you were wanting to get back to the Shiro stuff.
Yeah.
I figure Virgilia probably would be around it, at least one or two of the others, since once the main tasks are done, I imagine she's mostly doing shore leave and wants to tag around along with people. So yeah, she's probably got a couple of the others with her.
All right. More targets.
So whoever would be most
Appreciate it.
likely to tag along with Virgilia then, which I guess would be probably.
You know, there is an argument that could be made here that Libra wanted to ask you more about Audrey philosophy.
I guess that's possible. I'll leave that to Dax if Libra wanted to do shore leave here.
I'm gonna exclude Libra only because I've set this up poorly and should have gotten that information from you before revealing. Oh, hey, combat.
Yeah,
Okay.
that seems fair.
I think Asta's probably someone who's stuck on Virgilia's side at this point.
Yeah, and
That seems
Asta
plausible.
went with you to the other thing, so that's a good choice.
Who else would be plausible? Is there anyone else who finds Virgilia particularly interesting?
Many of them do, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at just Asta for now.
Okay.
This isn't just because I told you that there would be combat next session, but it's partly because I told you there would be combat next session.
You told us to the combat next session?
I did, yeah. There had been two very, very talky sessions, and I said in one of our reviews, I promise we'll have combat next session, or some words to that effect. Don't think anybody took me seriously because, you know, this is going to be like our second combat the entire campaign.
Does look familiar?
I'll take your word for it.
All right. So, how this actually breaks out is the grid is not accurate as to distance. Don't worry about that. You've just gotten the call from the ship, from the Raza, that Shiro has notified acting, whoever's acting in command at there.
Oh dear.
Shiro is calling a meeting of the Raza Bridge crew. And so that message was sent back down to you. Hey, Shiro is asking to meet with you again. And so you gathered up and started making your way to the port, where you can either catch your cargo lighter up if you want to send it down and just to bring you up, or you can catch a shuttle up. Because you've been going outside of the touristy port area, there was no reason necessarily to keep you inside, and so you could have been scattered all over the place. I don't think you were, because Percy had gathered people together. Percy wanted, it sounded like from what Viral was doing there, that Percy wanted some kind of togetherness with
Meeting, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like out of character, I was for meeting, and then I had forgotten what the meeting that I wanted was for. So I remember roughly, but not the specifics.
So maybe Percy was wanting to discuss what Tajima might bring up, but just kind of on his way to meet with everyone and gather, realized he didn't really have much, and just ended up playing darts or taking a walk in the park. In any case,
Yeah, it works.
you're nearly back to the port, and most of Shinobi that you've seen is safe, so there is no risk in taking an alley through to get to the port a little bit quicker, instead of going through the busier port area. And a pair of arrows fly at you from across the alley. Something didn't seem right just before this arrow flight incident, and Viral, with just a description so far of you know that you're going through an alley. It's not even necessarily dark. It's not as bright as, full day with no buildings around, and it's getting towards twilight, so the light is fading. And you know that there are going to be some arrows flying at you. How is Percy protecting his team with the knowledge that he has versus the knowledge you have?
I'm gonna say that it seems in character to say that Percy is kind of paranoid about even a relatively decently lit route on a relatively safe planet. So I imagine he's just like, out of long habit and a bit of luck, I guess, just staring at what he imagines would be the best place for an ambush to come from, just in case. And this time he's right.
Okay. Yeah.
If anything, it's possible that the ambushers are getting a little bit freaked out because they think they've been rattled because he's staring so hard, and that's why the ambush doesn't go very well, because I'm not very confident about it.
Let's
But
add
that's
in
what, like, wishful thinking.
that maybe he's taken lead and he's picking a path through the alley that puts as many obstructions between him and the crew and the party and the end of the alley that you can't see as clearly. And arrows fly past. A pair of, well, it can only be described as shinobi ninjas, literally come out of doorways on either side in front of you, and two behind you. And they start drawing back on bows, preparing to fire at you again. So I'm going to move you guys a little bit. We're going to let this be slightly representative. Actually, they're closer. Closer together. So you can reach either side of these in a single move action. This is not that long of an alley.
Okay.
They're basically just outside of melee range to start off.
Okay.
And remember that if you want to be in melee range, then your token circle touching their token circle is engaged in melee.
Okay.
And
God damn it.
so,
It's just deeply funny to me to be attacked by fucking bows in a.
Yeah.
they are conversion bows. They're at least TL4.
Okay. Are you sure they're not just going at us with like old fucking medieval Japanese war bows?
They look like old fucking medieval Japanese war bows.
Great.
Of course they do.
At least at a glance. They certainly have the more modern trappings that make them much stronger and make the arrow can fly at 300 meters and still be accurate.
Well, at least we're not getting fucking attempted assassinated by savages.
Like, what if they came at you with just like a wooden club?
Then I would do exactly what I'm about to do now, which is shoot the person trying to do it. Dex,
Okay.
Given the person is like the recognized security guy, I imagine it's probably still a bit too tense here for me to be like publicly carrying a large weapon, right?
Yes, you still were not authorized to carry a large weapon.
Okay, is a pistol alright?
A pistol's alright, yeah.
Okay. In that case, I will be committing bang bang on one of the four in front of us.
Okay.
Ah, shit. Because that's a
I mean,
16, it's a 16, but it is a nat 1, so I'm going to use my warrior class ability. That's actually... I can do it on nat 1s, right?
Yes, you
Hold
can.
on. Is nat ones a thing in Stars Without Number?
Yes, it is. Crawford accidentally excluded it from the revised book, but he did have it in the original, as well as in every other game. Nat 1s and Nat
Okay.
20s are a thing. He's also
All right.
clarified on
I
Reddit.
kind of thought they were. I kind of thought they were just gone.
That might be because I made a point of that in Cycle 2 when I thought they were gone.
Okay.
And now they're not.
Yeah, but he has corrected on Reddit that he did intend for Nat 1s and Nat 20s to be fails and auto. So I changed my tune and decided that I'll stick with it. So, yep, Nat 1
Yeah.
misses.
Warrior class ability? No, it doesn't.
Okay. And yes, you can use that on Nat 1s.
Unfortunately, BFG does not apply because this pistol is a one-handed weapon. But still, that's like, what, 16 damage? 16 damage, that's pretty good.
That is still 16 damage. Let me see if he can roll.
Please,
He does
come on,
not
please.
survive that. He had no chance. Which one were you attacking?
I don't have much. One of the ones in the middle? Why the ones in the middle?
Okay.
I don't much care which.
All right. Arrows fly past. There's sudden alarm. Some of your crew is reacting faster than others. Mainly Percy and Dax. Virgilia's up there too.
I was gonna say Doug's not even out of bed yet, and suddenly, bang! One of them has a massive wound. He's got just pouring out blood. Dex, is there a moment of shocked silence at the sudden sound of the gunfire and the fact that one of them just immediately keels over, dying?
Well, they were expecting a fight, so not entirely, but I'm sure it wakes up some of the PCs here.
Okay. Nah, I was just hoping that would fucking.
It is a morale check, though.
Okay, good. Can I accentuate that morale check by saying, like, okay, you got a few shots in, we got a few shots in. This doesn't have to be a fight. Get out of the way. What's that effect? Actually, no, basically exactly that.
That is something you can try in a future round.
Fair, yeah. Yeah.
You certainly can try to intimidate them down and force a morale check. I will allow that.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah,
case,
no,
though, they seem to even seeing this guy's half of this guy's head blown out and caved to the side. They seem very resolute. The two that were well, the two that were firing bows are still firing bows. But the other three there are drawing their swords, or well, they've already drawn their swords. I'm sorry. Everyone that stepped out instead of stepping forward is I should arrange this differently. That's what I should have done. That makes this easier. There we go. Everyone that stepped out from the doorways on either side of the alley with swords drawn is still resolute in advancing on you.
Okay.
Oh dear. Well, that one's dead. The one of the eights is dead. That's good. That gives me 2 more bow attacks and 1 melee.
Lovely.
I'm actually going to swap Percy and Virgilia.
Okay.
Because I imagined that the front of the alley with the direction you're traveling is this way. Alright, one of these is going at Percy and one at Douglas.
That's surprisingly kind of you. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. He's going to target you next, Das. Sorry.
Oh no, Das is very unthreatening.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
Just a kid.
Yeah, if Dex tries to target me, I just pull out just a kid and say, no, you don't. unless you have a specific reason to be targeting Das, no, you don't.
Alright, so Douglas first, and then a 14. Does a 19 hit your Ironhide?
I believe so, just barely.
Oh,
Hold
wow.
hold on one moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and activate Force Field.
Okay.
Ooh.
That'll go ahead and reduce 1 instance of damage to the bare minimum.
Nice.
Alright.
Instead of 8.
Go ahead and put that up on screen if you don't mind, and I will check real quick. Does considering that you can't be wearing combat armor here, does a 14 hit Percy's AC?
Shit, one sec.
Okay.
Saying that I can't be wearing combat armor.
Yeah. You can
Yeah,
have
hold on.
street armor, or like armored undersuits and the fancy clothes and all that, but
Armored undersuits. Does an armored vac suit count as an armored undersuit?
you wouldn't
Because I
be
feel like
wearing a vac suit
I did-
here.
Secure.
Yeah, I know, but
It's
Okay.
safety.
just like I forget what armored undersuit means in mechanical terms.
Oh, I see. Armored undersuit is just a type of armor. It's a street armor, and it's basically an undersuit that you wear under your regular clothes. Most of the time, it's not.
It's like think of it as a Kevlar underwear.
Yes.
Okay, that is exactly that is absolutely the kind of thing that Percy would have done if I had known that it exists, but I did not in fact know it exists, and so Percy probably didn't. And
I
yeah,
don't
therefore
know.
I
The
definitely
only
have.
difference between I think the only difference in armored undersuit versus secure clothing is just the encumbrance. Armored undersuit's no encumbrance versus secure
It's
clothing.
no encumbrance, and people don't know you're wearing it. Like it's still 13 plus dex either way.
Secured clothing they don't really know you're wearing either. So, I don't mind Percy wearing either armored undersuit or secured clothing.
Okay, in that case, can we just like have the armored undersuit? But I think, yeah, there is. One sec. But I believe, yeah, that's enough. I dodged this.
Okay.
Also, thank you for being a kind and magnanimous god. Yeah, no, that just doesn't work. AC 15.
Yeah. So, this is an example of something that Virgilia can do, that Crew can do, and by intent, it is better against explosions that are hitting multiple people or effects that hit multiple people, but is clearly just as good against a bullet as a grenade.
So, wow, huh? That gives me an idea.
Oh, shit.
No!
I'm not going to do
oh,
it because
shit.
I assume this civilian's in blast range, but, if push comes to shove.
It is something we can think of later. That is technically an option.
In case of emergency, pull pin. In case of
So
emergency, pull pin.
the damage against Doug is reduced down to 2.
Yep. I'll take 2
Um,
points of damage. I barely even notice.
yeah.
I think this is mostly an unconscious reaction on Crew / Virgilia's part, like
Oh yeah. Crew is
just sort of
absolute-
like
Mhm.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, just sort of like her eyes, she's kind of like stunned as they get taken, or like eyes like dart towards the arrow, and then like suddenly like this invisible projection just like deflects it right as it's about to hit Doug.
Mm-hmm. This one isn't invisible. It's a shimmering light blue field.
Okay, right.
It is right there in the description.
That's true. You're right.
Well, that's certainly interesting. I'm going to let this guy... Oof. He's aimed more towards Asta, so it's going to attack Asta, and then we're going to roll a morale check, as there's a break in the 8s.
Breaking the 8s.
Break in the 8s. So, oof.
Please note that Asta does have some benefits from being around me. I don't think any of them are defensive other than the morale bonus, but still.
Right. Yeah, they're not. You can post your authority when it comes to her turn. I should advance the ticker thing. There we go. That is certainly going to hit her, and only does 4 damage.
Yeah.
Wait, Asta? Really? Oh. Yep. Her token is not connected to her actual character sheet because it says she's got 5 hit points, and I know she's got more than that.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's put her... Oh, it may have just not changed when,
You should have
Yeah,
13 max, it looks like.
Yeah, no, it just didn't... I didn't change her current hit points when she gained a hit die. That's all it was. Okay, a flurry of activity has already occurred by the time Das is reacting here. Arrows have flown, Percy has shot somebody dead, and a ninja, and I say this half jokingly, but it is a Shinobin in bound clothing, like loose pants but bound with ties, and wearing a face mask, rushing at you. Asta has stepped rushing towards the group. Asta has stepped in the way and brought her I guess she would have been carrying a stun baton. Brought her stun baton up to try and deflect the blade. Fortunately, there was no contact made, as the sudden flash of blue light briefly surrounding all of you has distracted the guy that was charging, and now he is just circling looking for an opportunity. What's Das doing?
Immediately on realizing that we are being ambushed, looking around for some kind of cover to run into.
Okay.
You said we're in an alley, right?
You are in an alley. There is cover around.
Yeah. Das will do a quick analysis of like where is tactically the best place to be to not be in the battle at all. That is plausible for someone not doing said tactical analysis to pick. So I want to do like the lightning quick tactical analysis. Where do I want to be? But make it look like I'm not doing that and just run.
Okay.
That's just at this point very skilled at looking like you have no idea what you're doing as you run away.
Yes,
Let's
because
go
I
ahead
actually
and
have no idea what I'm doing.
roll me a scramble with intelligence. In exert.
Scramble.
Scramble?
It's scramble.
Intelligence exert.
In exert.
Mhm.
Okay.
Scrambled int.
Scramble brains.
11.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
bad, actually.
very easy. Das finds a put a wall over here and some debris and then some other debris. And Das can find a little nook inside that debris if she wants it. A bit of cover from both sides.
Yeah, I will absolutely get in there. Once I'm in, I do want to be like facing out with a good view as much as I can without leaving the cover. But yeah, I'm basically gonna get in there and back against the wall and just observe.
All right. It bothers me that everything I draw goes in front of tokens that have already been put down. I wish I could default that somehow. All right. Are you doing anything with an action, or is this? Do you want to take total defense, or are you holding your main action?
I don't know. Is there anything useful I can hold my main action for?
Once you've moved, not really. I shouldn't shouldn't have even said that.
Oh, you can't hold your standard action after you move?
Well, it's a move action to delay, or to ready, I should say.
Right.
You can delay
Yeah,
your
that's a
entire
little-
turn, or you can use a move action to ready a main action.
That's a little frustrating.
Just a teeny bit.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I do, not super familiar with total defense, but if I do that, is it like obvious I'm doing something like that, or is it? I'm basically just trying to make sure I don't do anything that could even slightly be considered threatening.
No,
I would.
it looks like you're trying to protect yourself. Is all it is. It wouldn't necessarily be taken as threatening.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. Instant defense or total defense is an instant action that uses your main action, and gives you a +2 bonus to your AC. That'll stack with any cover bonus. And you also become immune to shock damage for the round. All
I can
right.
leave.
They're still holding firm in their conviction.
Mm-hmm.
For now. For now. Couple more turns and I'll shoot one of them in the head and then we'll see how they feel about it.
So this one.
I'm playing something that might affect this a little bit too.
Even better. Even better. Yeah, are you just going to take your turn to go? He's going to shoot you in the head. Get out of the way.
Well, this one flicks the blood of his friend or ally or companion, you don't know what the relationship is, off of his blade and charges at Percy.
Okay.
Whoa, this is a 21 hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. Yep.
Okay.
For what, 9 damage?
9 damage.
And look at him go. He actually managed to land a hit. Good job.
He did, yeah. And then
He
it
just put
is for
himself on my
Julia's
ship.
turn.
He just put himself on my shit list. This was a mistake.
Okay.
How many hit dice does the that last one over there behind us have?
2.
He's going to die immediately.
Yeah, he gets obliterated.
Yeah, he.
Jeez.
Virgilia just like turns her eyes to him as Crew like like these like lines of force connect her to them as Crew reaches out to protect her, and he's just imploded, I think.
Well, imagine. I don't think imploded is. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I love implosion as a description, but in this case, it is very unrefined and clumsy, destructive telekinesis. Imagine like 1,000 cats all knocking the same pot off of a shelf, except that pot is a fleshy, squishy human body,
Okay.
and the cats are sledgehammers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
imagine
less
whatever-
implode and more kind of splat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like raining sledgehammers. Yeah.
So that part of the alley is just covered in blood. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll a damage roll on 1 or 2 hit dice.
No, it
Hey.
says you have 1 or 2
Yeah.
hit dice, they just immediately die.
You know, what I like here too is also that we're learning. Oh wow, these entities are actually really freaking dangerous.
Yes.
I don't-
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's that'll be
Jesus.
the one with the 3 initiative is just gone.
Let's see.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Is there a
Oof.
Is there an icon for this? Yeah, I think so. There we go. That's an icon. Gone to the void.
Yeah, just splattered.
All right, I do think that we're in tune. Yeah. In keeping for another morale check. They're not getting a bonus on this one. Wow, these guys are loyal.
Or
It's
they just really
possible
hate these
they just didn't see it. Oh Lord.
Give them a minute.
Well,
Is Virgilia making any moves or taking any move action, I should say?
I think she's actually probably going to, if she saw a Das run up, I think she's probably going to position herself like. It's important that to remember she was a sort of a counselor, sort of like semi-protector of her people back in Audrema, and I think her instinct is if there's a kid in trouble, probably protect that kid.
Just the
So,
kid works on
probably-
PCs also.
Yeah. So you know,
Only
positioning
probably.
yourself in front of where Das is.
Okay.
Here's the question: Virgilia, make sure to be between Das and the person that she just exploded.
Yes.
All right, Asta Hartman. Let me make sure that she does have. I did not put stun batons. So I guess a question here is: does the Raza equip guards with stun batons, or do you stick with the lethality of a monoblade weapon?
Hmm.
And actually, I
I
shouldn't
think
have
a
even said
stun
stun
baton is
baton in
pretty-
the first place.
I think a stun baton is plausible. Is probably more plausible as a self-defense weapon than a monoblade is in most cases.
It is, but I realized where you
At the
are,
same time-
way too long after saying stun baton, she should have been equipped with a monoblade knife, not a stun baton.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, realistically, do we care about looking like we're out for self-defense?
I mean, it is.
About-
It's.
Actually, you know what, maybe we do, because
I mean, there's the-
Libra is like, of all the people on this crew that fight, Libra is the one in charge of the security, which means she's the one in charge of outfitting people with weapons. So maybe we do actually have stun batons.
True.
That's a
True,
good point.
but isn't there
Well,
the
Libra-
cultural thing that guards have appropriate weaponry?
Yeah. So here,
Yeah.
absolutely, I should have said her knife, but I think that's a good point about Libra. And yes, your standard melee weapon for ship guards is a stun baton.
Okay.
Libra would
Oh,
prefer
yeah,
not to
Hold
kill
on. Would it be
people.
a
Terrible to
nanoblade
have it.
knife here or a sword?
It may not be terrible to have one alive.
It's a monoblade knife in stats, but it's a Tonto in
Okay.
in fiction.
All right. I wasn't sure if they'd let guards go around with a proper katana or whatever.
She is not a samurai, so she cannot carry a full-on katana around.
Okay.
Well, sorry,
It's
not
up to her.
samurai, but she's not actual shinobu military, so she can't carry
Right.
a katana.
So, do you want? I guess. Good question.
Hmm. What
So,
are we?
are we controlling Asa, or are you controlling her?
You guys are. I was just about to ask who wants to decide what Asta's doing right now.
I feel like it's fair to give it to Nox.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
I'm so glad we're all in agreement. Nox.
Nox is asking, what are they wearing? They are wearing the name is actually has meaning. Let me actually post those both for you just for the description. Ronin has come to mean a term fairly different from what it was. It's just somebody who was in the shinobu military and leaves without being like a deserter or dishonorable discharge or whatever, and then goes and does military stuff somewhere else. Shinobu's stance is if you're Shinobun, all of your military should be for the interest of Shinobu. If you're not, then you're Ronin. And then Blade is just a classification. They're trained by the Shinobu Imperial Naval Force for CQC. And direct personal combat, where it's getting to floor to floor facility takeover stuff like the raid. If any of you have seen it, where you just have a police force that goes into a building and clears it physically.
Yeah.
How does one do a fighting defensively?
That is just you use your standard action as an fighting defensively. There is none.
Is there none? Okay, I might be thinking of a different game.
I
That's
know the kind of thing you mean, but yeah.
That's standard 3.5 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of Pathfinder stuff lately, so.
Yeah.
So to answer, how are they dressed? They just have regular guard armor.
Okay.
It's a very light armor. It's just a step up from effectively an armored undersuit or secure clothing. They're not allowed to wear armor in the city either.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice if you don't roll that once.
You said we have monoblade knives?
Yeah, she's got the monoblade knife on her sheet. She also would have the mag pistol on her sheet, and note that Lulu has given her bonuses.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a +3 to all attack rolls for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's also firing in melee, which is a -4.
Well, if she's
something.
going to use a gun instead of a knife or a stun baton, yeah.
But
Yeah.
that bonus applies to melee as well, right?
Yes.
What? Yeah. So I was going to use a monoblade knife on the guy that is currently accosting her.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it with the free bonus.
That's without.
That looks like that's without, and so that just hits.
I added the 1. I thought it was a 1 bonus.
Oh, it's a +3 bonus.
Oh, okay. So then it's a +2 from here. So it's only a 13.
It's only 13. That shock will still affect them, though.
Okay.
Let me see if they
The
were...
shock is just a 1?
2.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
They did not have only 2 hit points.
Well, actually, hold on a moment. Asta has +1 skill, correct?
Yeah.
And then +2 attack bonus. So shouldn't she get a +3 basic to Mono Blade Knife?
No, you don't add the skill bonus to attacks.
Don't you?
Mm-mm. PCs do.
Okay, so it's an NPC thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, NPCs are very simple stat blocks. They get an attack bonus, they get a skill bonus, a morale, and different weapons can have different, like you can see the laser pistol and laser rifle, because they're laser weaponry, have a different attack bonus, but otherwise, no, it's just very simple. Our attack bonus is +2.
Okay.
All right. Doug, a lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just pull out this gun and try to shoot this guy. I don't think it's gonna work out very well, but you know.
Which one are you shooting? The one on Asta? On Percy?
I'm gonna try to get the one off of Percy so he can fire at well, maybe I should go for one Asta.
I have close combatant, but I appreciate the thought.
Yeah. I'll just keep thinking of Percy as all guns, but yeah, I'll go ahead and shoot the one on Asta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so all guns that I came up with ways to deal with the shortcomings of that bit of strategy.
Yeah. All right, I tried.
You tried. It was a good effort.
But with that kind of shooting, it's a good thing that I took the rocket launcher off you.
Yep. That's why you have it.
Two very different kinds of teammates, huh?
Yeah. Now we're back to Percy.
I suppose I will just run up to this, shoot, and then I'll just run up to this guy.
Okay.
Offer him another something to swing at if he wants.
Okay.
I have bad news for the guy who thinks getting up close to me is going to impede my ability to shoot. And that bad news is that he's next on the menu.
Yeah.
Does a 31 hit?
It does. Let me see if you can roll more hit points than that.
It's
He's got
possible.
a 1 in 64 chance.
He did not.
Just catching his blade and then blowing his brains out.
Essentially, yeah. Just the shirt the knife sort of clangs against the armor under the shirt, and just gun under chin, stare, bang.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, there is round about here. There was a spread roughly yay wide of splash zone.
I mean, it also occurs to me, even with the -4, you're still gonna hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
-4?
You could probably go just on the roll, no bonus, and still hit.
Yep.
Remember what -4?
It would be the
normally. I don't think it does. It apply to you even? I don't know if
It
you
does
have the
not.
close range combat thing.
I do have level 1 close combatant. Like I said to Meowkin, I have close combatant, but I appreciate the thought.
All right. Well, these two are
good.
kind of spreading out a little bit, and they appear resolute and ready to die because they've just seen all that happen and are drawing bow. Both aimed at Percy.
God, if he's a part of Tajima's military, then honestly he's probably better off without these kind of idiots.
Aw, the one that rolled good damage rolled low attack. The one that rolled good attack rolled low damage. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swap those.
He rolled a really funny attack though.
Did?
Yeah, 6'9".
Oh.
I'm immature. Have you not noticed?
Oh. Nice.
Six attack, 9 out. Really, I had to spell it out. Jeez.
Yep.
I worry about you people sometimes, I really do.
Well,
Yep.
well, it's because you didn't say that was a nice attack.
Well, it's also confusing because I swapped them. I decided that the 9 damage goes to the 20 attack. So it's
Oh.
actually 6-3. No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
I didn't.
well-
I didn't.
Okay, well, I'm going to decide that was a 15 to hit with 31 damage spread across the 3 of them. Since we can do that now, apparently.
No, only the GM has that power. 3 damage
Yeah,
to Percy
brilliant.
as an arrow whizzes past.
Oh no, whatever will I do?
Lordy.
Yeah, the one that is engaging with Asta takes the bait. Sees Doug coming up and sees an opportunity, or at least thinks he sees an opportunity. Nope.
Nada.
That would have hit Asta.
It's probably a good thing it wasn't aimed at Asta, huh?
But
Yeah.
Doug's uncanny ability to just be in the wrong place for getting hit strikes again.
Or does it strike, as the case may be?
I think it strikes the blade. I'm not sure though. Das.
I'm gonna get my keyboard to cooperate. Continue hiding between whatever I'm hiding between. Total defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Virgilia.
Alright, I'm going to do something slightly different this time. The one next to Asta. List of abilities. Where the fuck is it? There we go. I'm going to go ahead and choke them
Oh,
using
all right.
refined telekinesis.
Lovely.
So that'll be.
Oh, do you find that lack of faith disturbing?
They need to make a physical save. Which
It
they
is
fail.
failed. Yep.
So they are going to take 1d6 6 damage.
For a second, I thought it was
So they
1d6
take
plus 16
12
damage.
non-lethal damage as I choke them out.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's roll their hit points.
Then you already
Oh.
roll their hit points?
I did, yeah, and it was
Exactly the same as that.
yeah,
I
funny. I think it was. I forgot they had taken damage. Yeah, that definitely
Cinema.
So this is a little bit more subtle than the destructive telekinesis you all just saw. But there is clearly something that is strangling this shinobu for air as he gasps and tries to keep his monoblade at ready, tries to maintain defensive, and he stops swinging it quite as much, but it doesn't take much before you hear a. I assume you try not to kill him, Lulu.
Right.
Yeah. Before you hear a fading gasp and kind of still struggling is forced onto the ground.
That one was a little bit more intentional on Virgilia's part, I think, since she's actually managed to collect herself a little bit by now. So she's like, I think, breathing hard a little bit, and just, and I think, mentally collecting herself and says, Asta, help Percy if you would. I'll handle this one.
Well, I don't think Asta is as wide-eyed because Asta got possessed and has a sense for these now a little bit, and Asta might have the most understanding of what's going on there than anyone, aside from Virgilia.
Right.
It is still a bit creepy.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen telekinetics do stuff. It's not that different.
Telekinetics
We don't
usually
have
can't
a kinetic.
choke at people.
Can't they?
No.
I could have sworn they could use telekinesis to choke people out. Maybe I'm...
No, regular telekinesis doesn't work on living targets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have seen people flavor the telekinetic armory as effectively force choke from Star Wars or this, and that is a valid flavoring. But no, most telekinesis does not work directly on people.
Okay.
All right. Asta pushes the guard away from her as it's falling, and turns around and fires. Oh, sorry. Nox. What does Asta do? I got a little carried away there.
I didn't realize we were already back to Asta's turn. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys are losing turns
Yeah.
fast.
Yep.
Right? They're losing party members fast as what they're losing.
It was possible they could have done a lot of damage to you. You don't have high AC going into this except for Doug. And they can roll high damage.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, they've got to get
Good
it
to know.
out first.
Yeah.
And that means
gonna
they've got to be alive long enough to do it.
Down here ways. Get some cover.
Okay.
And can she still shoot from this position?
Yeah.
I guess she'll make a shoot at whichever one is a viable target.
Oh, we'll go for this one since it is a cleaner line for her.
Yeah.
And it does not have hit points, so I will roll this time. I should have clicked on the other one to see first. Has 2 hit points left after that.
That is A-okay.
Didn't they take some non-lethal damage? Didn't they take some non-lethal damage? Sorry.
No. You're thinking of this one.
Okay.
Well,
Sorry,
that's
no, I interrupted you.
that's unfortunate. But yeah, that's a
sure?
17, so definitely hits at least.
Yeah. Authority didn't give any damage bonuses? It wouldn't.
No.
I'm not surprised. Okay.
Like the attack bonus is already pretty significant.
It is, yeah. All right. And we're back to Doug.
Oh. Well, bang bang.
All right. Well, shoot the same one that Asta's shooting?
Sure.
That's hilarious.
I hit him.
Teamwork. High five.
Love it. Like, I'm just saying, Doug understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And we come back around to Percy.
I think I'm going to execute the one that got dropped with non-lethal damage. This is for legal purposes. This is a joke. 17 hit?
Assuming you're going for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely does. On a 2.
That was a 2, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
fantastic.
the thing to take away from this combat is that out of all of the rolls, I think the ones that look most like hit rolls are Percy's damage rolls.
Yeah.
Because the hit rolls have some weird numbers like 31. That's too high. But then Percy's damage rolls, there's a 15 and there's a 19. That makes sense.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfectly sensible.
It is, his plus damage is higher
Lulu.
than my plus hit.
Lulu. Lulu, you see what I've had to deal with. I have been carrying this party through combat.
Well, I mean, if I could detonate a demo
I
charge, I'd be fine.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I know that.
Cycle,
Yeah,
he did not have a warrior.
yeah. I appreciate your efforts with the demo charges, but you have to admit that they're not suitable for every fight.
Yeah, well, it's not an alleyway fight.
They'll never admit. Come on, they're not
I
going
don't-
to admit that.
I also appreciate you being a big sack of hard to HP that you can throw at
Yeah, I mean, I'm
problems.
mostly and so are in fights. I'm just a target for them to shoot at.
Yeah.
Every attack against me is a win for us.
Oh lordy.
Unless, until the last one, there's too many. But yeah.
That doesn't mean that we have one that we could interrogate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask Viral. How does this last one go down? Is it a kill and blow? Is it you've removed them from combat? That's all that your hit point roll has done. You decide how.
Just like directly center of mass goes flying backwards off their feet with a splat.
Okay, so they're
When I
dead.
say a splat, they land with a splat.
Which
Yeah,
really
very.
raises the questions of physics. How is he shooting a bullet harder?
Will. Pure will.
It's equal parts good aim, and the first ones were aimed at smaller, more peripheral parts of the body.
It's all on the wrist. I get it.
Exactly. See, you're starting to get it. Yeah. That, and there's just a lot more kick in my gun than there is in yours.
That's true.
All right, so there are some icons on these. There's one icon to represent choked out and unable to act. There's one icon to indicate not really there anymore, but instead there, and there.
Jesus. Does the cross actually represent where the body parts went? Oh dear.
Yeah, sure.
Oh dear.
There's a standard icon we recognize, the skull and crossbones. Those are just dead. And then over on the right is a heart icon, which I'm using to represent they're just bleeding out.
Well,
So you've got two that
we
are
don't
still
need
alive.
Percy just what? He's there. There's multiple there. As Percy walking over to the other one, he just says, "Do we need two people to interrogate?"
I feel like maybe we don't want to kill them.
It might be actively sparing them might make them more willing to talk than the other one.
All right. Pause conversation here. Percy and Virgilia.
That's the only suggestion I've got.
Go ahead and roll me a wisdom notice check.
Ah, shit. Okay.
All of us, or just Percy?
Percy and
Percy,
Virgilia. Yeah. I'll allow Das also because Das is being attentive right now.
12's pretty good.
8's not so good.
Okay.
10's in the middle.
8, 10, 12.
Yeah, Das is at an awkward angle. Percy is right there, and I will say that Virgilia isn't combat experienced. Virgilia is combat observant, where she, at best has seen things on Audrima.
We've got some really violent shows on there. You'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, yeah. I believe that your shows are violent. I just don't believe that it's more violent than my life.
Yeah.
So take that into account for Virgilia. Das, I don't think sees this at all. But Percy recognizes that this person is fumbling around inside their mouth with a tongue for a poison pill.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was
Okay,
just to cyanide capsules.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I am in that case. That completely changed my answer. I am. Two courses of action here. One may or may not work. One is definitely funny. Yeah. Okay. No. I am gonna stomp on the guy's gut to try and make him cough it out.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make an opposed roll. You can use exert and dex or strength, whichever you prefer to use there.
I'm okay with Dex.
All right.
I'm aiming for the esophagus. Oh shit, that's not very good.
Yeah, it is opposed though, so he might roll worse.
Ah shit.
Capsule check succeeds.
Bleh.
You see he grunts at the kick, and it looks like that could have been effective to force him to eject whatever is foaming up in his mouth, but he got to it just slightly before you. May have actually practiced his technique.
Hold on a moment. I've got a question. Will this cancel out the poison?
Yeah.
It's cured of poisons and diseases. Wow. What can't you do, Regalia?
So, from what I've gathered of the bonded thing is, I get a lot of different things from different fields. I am nowhere near as specialized in those fields as a dedicated psychic, but I get a lot of good features from each of them.
Yeah.
So, well, other than teleportation, I cannot teleport. Period.
Here's
If only we had a handy teleporter to cover your weakness.
a wild thing. What poisons are people born with?
I mean, you can make an argument about a lot of different things, depending on how you're looking at it. Regardless, I'm going to, as they start foaming it over, Virgilia is going to rush over very, very quickly.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
Virgilia
go
does have to be
and-
right next to him.
Okay, yeah. So rushing over extremely quickly, and then going to go ahead and press that in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Virgilia doesn't have to be right next to him. But
Crew needs to be near him.
Yeah, Crew does. Crew actually has to fly out from Virgilia and encompass them.
Fortunately, Crew has some independent action stuff because I am a 9th level bonded.
He does, but keep in mind that it does have to be a willing creature.
Oh, right, that's true. Hold on. Hold on. Does it have to be a willing creature?
It does say
Yeah, it does say.
First line, yeah. First line.
First
Okay,
sentence.
it does have to be a willing creature. I'm going to guess they're not willing.
Do you still want to try it?
Yeah, I think Virgilia is probably the sort who would try it anyway.
Maybe not. Maybe they're like only 99% committed, and that gives them that last 1% nudge, and they don't do it. They don't follow through.
Yeah.
Nope, I even penalized
Oh my god.
Sure. That's a 0. Much like his life signs, that's a 0.
No, that's a.
Oh, you
that's
added
a-
Oh, I
that's a
included the
plus
plus.
two.
But
Yeah, that's a plus 2, but it's still 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
that's
believe I
fine.
included the plus after saying so many times, don't include the plus. But yeah, the dice with a 1 and a 2 and a +2 on that, the bonus that you get. No, this Shinobin is still committed to dying for whatever cause
They
they're dying
paid
for.
them really well.
I mean,
Because he's still
Hey.
slowly sticking his hand in the guy's mouth, but I assume he's past saving at this point. Or past stopping, rather.
He is.
They gave them health insurance at their new job. Now you may be wondering if this kind of counteracts the health insurance part, but morale
They're not
thing.
going to pay out anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Imagine needing to have a job to get healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very tired.
Think so, Ashley Elmwood?
I was at a protest yesterday, and I'm very tired. Regardless, he's dead. Virgilia is going to probably curse a little bit under her breath and go back to the other one and just immediately dig out whatever poison pill she can find and just destroy it.
All right.
Damn, I think I-
Roll me an int heal check or wisdom heal check.
Yeah. Give me that. I don't think I have heal, but
I would also allow sneak.
okay, I do have sneak. Okay.
I have both.
Oh then.
Might need both.
Only 6.
Virgilia can't find anything.
Hmm.
So you all see Virgilia you see Crew shoot out from Virgilia. You knew Crew existed. That's not a surprise, but then Crew encompasses the foaming Shinobin in a green glow. Crew seems to disappear, and the Shinobin glows greenly. It glows with a green aura. And there's the briefest moment of hesitation on the Shinobin's eyes, but then they firm up and then they cloud up, and you can see that the poison has taken effect. And then Virgilia runs over and starts digging in the other one's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of.
Is it
Does it?
so? From Das's perspective at this point, is it kind of safe? Is it over the battle?
It looks pretty safe.
Okay.
Yeah, you hear the calls of guards, but
I guess
they're
sound wise, there were what, just 3 gunshots, right?
yeah.
4 gunshots.
Mm.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
mine were too, but mine were probably much quieter.
Yours is quiet. Yours is quiet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the overall sort of view that Das gets when she comes out from between these two things?
Well, to the left is viscera and blood, and a man that is recovering from choking, with Virgilia's hands in his mouth.
He's got to be around here somewhere.
Okay.
To help with the recovering from the choking, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do
Continues
it.
to choke.
And over on the right are 3 Shinobins who've been killed either with a bullet to the face, perforated by a couple of rounds, or mag pistols, mag bullets that have
Unanimous.
torn chunks off of them. And then the one that's over there by Percy also has bullet holes, but has foam.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Who
we should-
who of the party is most sort of injured? Or most
probably me.
visibly injured?
Probably me. I took an arrow at one point, I think.
You did not actually get hit by the arrow. Remember, I abstract hit points a lot, so
Mhm.
the fact that
yeah.
that hit point didn't pose the hit point damage didn't pose any real threat to you of going down means that it wasn't an actual hit. It may have grazed
Okay.
off the armor.
Okay, in that case,
Percentage-wise,
probably
that's
nobody.
Forced off.
Probably
I would-
nobody then.
Okay.
I would say Virgilia because she looks the most panicky and she's got her hand in somebody's mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, I'll definitely go over there and figure out what's going on. Yeah.
The other one poisoned himself. This one, like that's how ninjas always work, right? Man, I don't know anything about ninja. Look,
if
I
only
must
we
have
had that.
something.
Wait, Percy fucking realizes actually.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
he messages Miokin, and he goes, "Hey, we probably need to get back quickly. Can you help us out?"
Yeah, we're gonna say I don't know how long it would take a message to get anywhere given the distance and stuff. But
No, it's pretty immediate. You're basically the Roz is in atmosphere, so it's pretty immediate.
Oh,
cool.
awesome.
Give it a
Let's write
round,
down.
and the Myokin will show up.
All right. In that round, is Das also going to stick her hand in this man's mouth?
If Virgilia makes it sufficiently clear that she's attempting to find something and remove it, then yes, I think she would try and assist with that.
The other one poisoned himself. This one must have something similar. I can't find the damn thing. Don't they keep it in their like teeth or something?
We can bring him with us. He can't poison himself if he's strapped to a medical machine.
I mean,
no, he can because it's in his mouth. We have to like
just have to
strap his tongue down or something.
Yeah.
Hold his mouth open.
Get the machine, bring him back from it, basically.
Well,
Hold his mouth closed.
this is
in this moment, Das is going to be looking for the thing to try and just remove it.
I would not put it past. I would not put it past Medbay Riley to have tongue straps.
Yeah.
All right. Malkin, go ahead and give me a strength exert for Doug holding them still. And then once that's rolled, I'll let you know if you get a +1 bonus on your heal check. All right, yeah, that gives Das a +1 assist check.
Can I use eclectic memory to give an additional +1 then?
No, aid can only be up to +1.
Wrong.
Oh.
Eclectic memory. Once per day you can aid an ally that has already been successfully aided.
Pulling out the eclectic memory on me. Yes, you can then.
You played yourself.
I did. But I'm going to have to force you to format that correctly, please. Oh, goodness. That breaks my heart.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. So that's
all extra.
That's an in-heal with
I'll fix
+2.
that later.
In-heal with +2 is that?
Already, you do still have to roll for it, but you get the Did I give that a 3d6?
Right.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, it's not an automatic +1, but you can add another +1.
Can I roll like notice charisma here to represent like crew like holding their mouth open and like assisting with that part? Like holding them like still as much as possible with crew's ability.
That's an interesting angle, and I do think that he's got the refined telekinesis. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's another +1.
Okay, +2. In-heal, right?
In-heal, correct. Oh my goodness! The difficulty was 10.
I mean,
so we did need both the assists to get that.
Yeah.
2
Nice.
2 plus 2 plus 2.
Yeah, lots of 2s. Yes. I rolled 2 2s. I've got heal 2, int 2, and +2 from assists.
Woofer eclectic memory.
Yeah.
I did not expect that to ever be useful.
Well,
here we are.
So with that,
here it turned out to be too useful.
Billy has watched a lot of Spy Dramas or something.
Das can conclusively determine that there is no poison pill in this one's mouth. It's not just that you didn't find anything.
Apples.
There is not one.
He wasn't dedicated.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. It means the other one was probably worth keeping alive.
It does give you that insight that yes, the other one there is more important than this one that's alive. Unfortunately.
I guess if there's more important people among your group, you'd probably keep them off the front lines and like at archery distance.
Hold on, I'm thinking this.
Now that Myokin is here, are these guys like a ninja in like an obvious way?
Let me answer that after Lulu has had his thought.
Sure.
Lulu?
Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Virgilia's just like looking down and thinking, and I guess realizing it, like as Doug points this out, points this out that the other one was probably more important. Just thinking, and I guess Percy, grab that one.
Percy just and he hooks him up on his shoulder, and then oh man, he's bleeding all over my shirt. It's fine. Right, it's on me. I should have aimed at an extremity.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So we go before the authorities get here.
Okay, yeah.
I can do something with this.
What was that?
Okay.
But yeah, did Myokin arrive?
Yeah, Myokin is there.
Yes.
Myokin is looking around. And so your question, Nox, on initial glance, these all look like INF, Imperial Naval Force.
Okay.
As described earlier, obviously Ronin, because they are acting in a military or combat capacity for somebody that is not Shinobu. I mean, I guess that's not specifically known to the characters. That is a revelation that perhaps the GM should not have included, because these
Probably,
could.
these are sent by Tajima.
Yeah. As soon as you guys floated that theory, I should have stripped the Ronin from them, from their
Well, we
names.
don't know that.
There's no particular markings, like no, they're not tattooed when they leave the military. But no, I think I'm still going to give you that information. They are not wearing active military insignia. You know how everyone is identified by colors or some kind of
Yeah, we learned that from Kana.
Yeah. So no, Kana can be confident that these are either Ronin or they are committing treason by not wearing their their military insignia in combat. It would be worse for them if they were active INF and not displaying that for Kana to recognize.
There is also option 3 in which they are ninja because ninja can lie about their identity.
You remember? Yes.
Was it?
That is actually
Wow.
option 3.
But yeah. I would also like to say Myokin is here wearing a Monin outfit and a sort of beige cloth mask.
Okay.
And let's all pour it out of here.
All
Yeah, I
right.
was gonna say yes.
Yeah, honestly,
Yes.
about time.
you do hear the guard racing towards you, but you poured out before they get in any kind of angle for you to see them or them to see you.
Okay. But yeah, I can easily bring everyone here with us. And I shouldn't have any problems bringing the guy that's unconscious because he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He is in fact unconscious.
Just asking because not willing to offensive apport stuff. I think that all that fades away when he's already been combat bested.
All right.
Go team.
Go team.
That- That went well, ish.
Unless there's gonna be political problems, but we'll find out.
I promise you combat.
Look, I'm just saying, if people come at us with bows and an alleyway shooting to kill, I don't know that they weren't even that, they didn't even seem to be trying that hard, but shooting to kill, then we're allowed to defend ourselves. And if Tajima Shiro has a problem, with that, then deal with the renegade problem on your planet.
Just
jump in.
real quick before we take a break, Nox, would you, and while Viral is finishing here, would you mark which of these you are porting with you, or is it just the unconscious guy?
I can, if I'm in range of, I'm taking everyone that I'm in range of.
I think Percy was carrying the one that poison pilled.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right, I
And then
forgot Percy did say that. Yep.
and the
Okay.
living prisoner.
Oh.
Whoever is in range of whatever the cluster is, that's who's going.
Yeah. Including dead bodies.
Sure.
Lovely.
All right. I'll look up over the break if you have to be touching them. Viral, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I wanted to get those markings out. What were you want to finish what you're saying?
Oh no, it's okay. I was done.
Oh, okay.
You're fine. I was done.
All right.
I don't believe I do. I think there's like a reasonable range.
I think so.
3 meters.
Oh yeah, the easily.
No. Ordinary inert matter cannot be carried along unless psychic is touching it or it's being carried by an ally affected by this power.
That's what I thought.
So
That's why I was
Another
hesitating.
body though. I'm sure Doug can handle one and had another body.
if we need to bring any along, or if we want to bring any along.
So yeah, I'll go back to my original request. Circle any of these that you are wanting to take along with you. I've already circled the poison pill for you, and unconscious. If you want any others, go ahead and circle them. And
If we're discussing it, I guess Doug will grab another one.
Perfect.
And Smoke and I'll grab a fourth.
All right. Then let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break.
And remember, the one on the left, there's nothing to carry.
That's not true. That's not true. There's some splatter on the ground.
Are there
We'll sweep
any
them into a
organs
dustpan.
intact enough to be valuable on the market? That's the question.
No.
Why? I cannot help but ask. Why is that one of the questions that occurs to you to ask?
I know how the Raza works.
You know how Araza works.
I know how the old Raza works.
Well, we do. There is Riley, which is basically a Jai devotee.
We don't talk about Riley. One of the major themes of this campaign has been that we are not necessarily the old Raza, even if we do old Raza things sometimes.
Okay. Well,
With that
I
being
know
said,
how
yeah,
I know how Cycle 2 Razas work.
Yeah. With that
And to
being
be
said,
fair,
what is
that's
the
what,
market price?
to be fair, that's what Virgilia was raised on, is stories of the Cycle 2 Raza.
Yeah.
With that being said, what is the market price for a ninja corpse around here?
So come on back in 15 minutes. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring us back into frame. Lulu will return when he returns.
Ooh, fell asleep making coffee.
Possibly.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Ironic, given that coffee keeps you awake.
I'm just picturing him as a Sims character now, whose sleep meter is just draining as he's waiting for the coffee to finish. His sleep is draining, the coffee meter is building up, and they both meet. He falls asleep, and the coffee's done.
Oh dear.
That may have happened
And then
to me.
by the time he wakes up, it's cold.
Yep.
By the time he wakes up, the hot plate that the coffee is on has evaporated all the coffee.
Oh,
Oh dear.
that's even worse. All right, I'm gonna move you back over to the. Actually, we'll just leave you here for a minute. You know what you did.
You know what you did.
All right, so you have teleported back to the Raza, thanks to Kana being an exceptional teleporter and pilot, with a couple of bodies. And it looks like 3 bodies and 3 corpses and 1 unconscious body. You've conclusively determined that the unconscious one does not have a poison pill. And you brought the one that did. You can
Do
check the other
either-
two bodies that you brought, and they don't have poison pills either.
Okay.
Now watch as they bust out the poison pill and perish.
No, this is a GM wording thing.
So it was
I don't
only
have to
that
find it.
one that had
If the
poison
GM
pill.
says you don't find one, there might still be one. If they say there isn't one, there isn't.
Yeah.
Well, they pretty
Careful wording.
conclusively said there isn't one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm confirming that the only poison pill you found is in the one that used it.
Which does not preclude the existence of another one. Well played, Dix.
Are there any identifying? Like, I doubt there's too much, but is there any identifying like equipment or items on them at all?
Connor's already been able to look over that, and that's how you know that, or you have reason to believe that either they are ninjas, which could, properly employed ninjas, employed by the INF, or they were once INF, they're trained by INF, and are now working for someone else. There's nothing else about their clothing or anything else that gives you more information than that. They don't have ID on them. They knew what they were doing. They do have their INF issued weapons, katana.
Interesting.
That sounds illegal.
I'm gonna.
Oh, you know what? You're right, actually.
No, that actually, unless I'm.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah, unless I'm sorely thinking wrong about the culture. I think this culture would allow somebody who has properly served and completed the service to keep their katana as, like, that's who they were.
But the katana are not personally identifiable.
Serial numbers. Do they have katana control measures?
Katanas with rifling.
Oh dear.
I think they would, because you can be stripped of that. Like, being able to, they're not. They're either illegally carrying these katana, or they have not committed anything dishonorable to have their katana privileges taken away. Well, their katana taken away.
But I mean, the katana themselves are not personally identifiable.
And I think they would be. They will have some kind of marking or serial number that reflects their issuance. You just don't have any way at the tip of your fingers to look up who they were.
Wrong.
Oh.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
Fucking
Apparently.
wrong.
Oh dear.
So
What did
wrong,
you do?
it had to be posted twice.
What did you do?
I mean, you would have been able to do that even if they didn't have serial numbers, so I feel like
That's
you've
true.
led me into a trap, Lulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a way to look up what the serial number's tied to, but we have a way to find the same answer.
Yep. The reason I brought the dead bodies along was actually related to this, and you've already actually seen this one, but fuck, where is it?
Lulu can talk to Verdelia can talk to the dead.
Yeah. God damn it! Here we go.
Man, these are long.
The problem there is they need to be willing to talk. Well, not necessarily willing to talk. They have the same biases and loyalties, and this person killed themselves over their loyalties, so that's a factor. So I'd need to trick them in some way if I actually wanted to talk to them. Fortunately, we have one person we can interrogate, and we have this weapon here. So I'm gonna get what information I can out of those.
I'm happy to say that you've got the weapons of any that you brought with you.
Yep. So, yeah. How do you all want to do this? I guess.
I'll frame this with you've already gotten the living guy into medbay, sedated, and on life support so that he doesn't suddenly die, or under observation so that he can't die somehow. So he is a non-factor as far as the dead people and their weapons go.
Okay. That's fine then. Double checking how much effort I have left. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use minimal cognition on the katana of the one who was who poisoned himself.
Okay.
I guess I'm looking mostly to see who this person was and where their loyalties are that were significant enough for them to kill themselves. So I assume that memory is something that tie closely to this weapon they hold in such import.
Okay. And that is something that Kana is able to confirm is that theirs is also the standard military issue. So, it is very likely something that, as you said, they hold with importance. And so, just to clarify, you're using mnemocognition on the weapon of the poison pill.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. One moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so mnemocognition is a little bit more limited than just object reading because it is object reading in the location where the memory was formed. However, it's not completely worthless to you because particularly strong memories will lead you to the location where the memory was formed if you want to go there. And with this blade, you do detect a particularly strong memory. You can't view it, but you can use this sword as a compass to get to that location. So you were right in that this sword does hold particular significance to the poison pill person.
Okay. In that case, all right, I'll take that for now. We have the fighter craft we took. That's in working condition, correct?
Oh yeah.
With the rest of the party's permission, I'd like to take the fighter craft down later and use this sword to identify the location and review the memory later.
That is probably fine. That's probably fine.
As long as the sword can be like, if you need to take it down, as long as it's like wrapped up or something, so it's not like.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, without more information on who this person was, I don't know that I know enough for them to trick them into revealing information in using living memory. So that we might need to hold off on that one for now and then just wait to interrogate the one we've got. But if you want to hand the bodies over to Riley to look for anything identifiable in the bodies themselves, that's an option.
Definitely a possibility. Once we're sure that we don't want them back, are we sure we don't want them back?
We could use it to find out what the poison was. That could be useful.
True. But I mean, like, do we need the bodies or anything after we give them to Riley?
No.
Bodies for?
Unless we plan to return them to UIS.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the Shinoban burial culture like?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah, people who died with honor are buried and honored, regardless of, honored for having honor. And nothing that you know so far would indicate that any of these have died without honor.
Wouldn't ambushing us count as dishonorable?
Not if...
Probably depend why they did it.
Yeah.
Not if they're ninjas.
Yeah, definitely not if they're ninjas.
Doesn't getting shot by a foreigner in a back alley count as a dishonorable way to die?
No, they died in combat.
Huh.
Did die in combat. I guess.
I mean, in fairness, it would be a little bit generous to call that combat, I think. I'm joking.
The main point, I think, is we could probably pretend we don't have the leader body on us, but we might need to keep the other ones on ice to return them. We can work around this. Just let Riley do her thing, I think.
Are you putting any restrictions on Riley? Are you telling her, like, don't cut off arms, don't try and make a mutant?
I think don't try and make a
definitely. Yeah, definitely that second one.
They're bringing them back from the dead.
Like, given the experience that we had with Mercure Corp, don't make them a mutant is implied at this point. Like, very heavily implied.
Yeah. Well, I think it should be implied. I think we should still state it.
True, yeah.
Yeah. No, I would say until such a point as we definitely are not going to want to return them, we should go with guidelines something along the lines of don't cut off anything you don't actually need to. Don't go doing stuff just for random curiosity.
Yeah.
If there's a reason to do something, then do it. But
ideally make it look like it happened in battle, if you can.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're hoping to learn from Riley inspecting the bodies?
If there's any identifying cyberware, I don't know if UIS uses much cyberware, but that's a possibility.
I think so.
Yeah, a little bit.
So identifying cyberware, any physical identifier and identifiers, toxicology report here would be useful.
Identifying birthmarks. I was like, wait, how do you get a record of birthmarks identifying a person?
Yeah, any records we could use for anything that would be included in physical records too. So
I feel like to cross-reference that we might need to go like hack a hospital or something.
Yeah, but there are ways.
There are ways.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Riley's taking apart the bodies. Virgilia is doing psychic stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. What is
Yeah, I guess.
Percy doing?
Checking in with everyone, making sure that they're like not injured or whatever.
Yeah.
That feels reasonable.
Ash is a little bit rattled, and she's still calming down, but she is otherwise uninjured.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, she did good.
And I do want to clarify,
sure that she-
I was joking, just playing along with a joke when I said that, if they're ninjas, then ambushing is perfectly fine. Ninjas, as Nox pointed out, have already given up their honor.
Okay. Okay, so that means that it didn't die with honor because they already gave it up, so it means we can keep them.
If they're ninjas. However,
But if they're not ninjas, it's already. Man, this is confusing.
them ambushing you like that is not inherently dishonorable. It is going to depend on the context of why, whose orders they were following, what they were doing. There's a whole unwritten cultural code to it.
There's also probably something where,
dear.
hey, if they're dangerous enough individuals.
Mm-hmm. I mean, ambushes are a very valid tactic in war, so it's...
Yeah.
Are we at war with anyone?
If you're fighting fair, then that's just kind of stupid.
Are we at war with anyone? I mean, fair, but
they
still.
were at war with you?
That's what I'm saying. Are we at war with anyone?
Yeah, they declared war on you.
War were declared.
Huh. I feel like we missed the memo.
It was a message carried on an arrow.
I see. Well, huh.
Yeah, they showed up, declared war, and got shot.
Wait, hang on.
We ended the war.
Hang on. Like, Percy probably wouldn't say this in character, but Virgilia, it's your first war crime with the new version of the Vaza. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, how's Virgilia holding up, anyways?
She made that guy explode with her brain. She's doing fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, technically that was all crew.
Oh, okay.
Who lives in?
All right, she's negotiating then. Got it.
Where does crew live?
Yeah, he's in my brain.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
And her spine, and kind
And
of
my
his
spine.
whole body
Which
experience.
connected to...
Her feet.
And at the other end...
Yeah.
Her ears.
Yeah.
Checkmate atheists.
But it is a relevant question. If Percy is going around checking, I imagine that he would check on Virgilia. So how is she doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a good
knock,
question.
knock. Yeah, knock. Like, can I come in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think she's staring really hard at the sword right now.
Bad time, or?
No, please. Come in.
Okay.
I have a
Percy
question
shuts
for
the
you
door behind him.
while you're framing this. Has Virgilia ever seen crew use destructive telekinesis on a person before?
No.
Okay. All right. Continue.
I think she's she's aware he could do. She was aware he could do that.
Mm-hmm.
She was certainly aware he could do that. I think she's used refined telekinesis to. If there's been situations where people have started getting out of hand, it's not out of the question. She would use refined telekinesis to calm them down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's like a very dangerous euphemism.
it's forcibly separating people without, permanently harming them. But the destructive telekinesis, no.
Not on a person.
Hmm.
All right, so what's Percy see?
I think Virgilia is trying very, 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 very hard not to think about what happened, and she's throwing herself into next steps to avoid thinking about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I don't think Virgilia is doing well exactly,
Mm. Yeah.
but
Percy
she's
probably can't. Go on, sorry.
no, she's not doing well. But she's trying extremely hard to rationalize what just happened by throwing herself into work right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Percy doesn't remember the specifics, but does he recognize what she's going through? Like, just
Oh,
because
I'm
specific
sure.
memories are gone. Yeah.
It's familiar. He doesn't remember any of it. You're right, but
Yeah.
that clearly looks familiar.
Yeah. When you say familiar, does it mean like she's throwing herself into work because she's in shock, or just familiar as in I know this look?
Familiar as in I know this look. Percy has, in his lost memory somewhere, almost certainly seen somebody kill for the first time, and
Yeah.
it's never easy. It's something that kind of sticks with you. Percy probably experienced it at some point, and in the
Yeah.
mercenary life he can't remember. That is a familiar enough memory that he has the sensation of he knows what this is, doesn't know why he knows what it is, but he knows what it is.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. In that case, Percy's gonna go with. Okay, so this is gonna be a weird one. Uh, I have no idea what you're feeling, but it's familiar. You want to talk about it, or?
She's going to be silent for a decent while, like just like still like sitting there, still like staring down at the sword in front of her. Not sure if she's I'm not sure if she's dissociating exactly or just trying to focus on it so much that she can push out anything else. After a moment, she says, "I think." I think if I stopped to think about it, I might go mad.
Oh. Oh, right. Right. Okay. Yeah.
But no. I'm sorry. Forget I said that.
No, it's.
It needs. I know that technically I knew that the world outside Aldrim was dangerous.
Mm.
And I know that whatever I do here, odds are it won't matter in the long run.
Percy raises an eyebrow.
Because of the time loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, but you're already assuming that this isn't going to be the one that succeeds?
Neither of the other
Well,
ones did.
Oh yeah, sample size of 2. Sorry, not the point. Carry on.
I'm. There's always the possibility that it will, but I don't. I went into this assuming. That it probably wouldn't, and that I'd still do what I could to help, so that either this time or another, it might be resolved. But thinking that what I just did, crew and I just killed someone like that in an instant. And even if that doesn't, no, saying it doesn't matter doesn't help, does it? I can't stop because if I stop and think, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Oh, I'm rambling.
No, you're allowed. You're allowed.
No. Oh. I need to focus on this. How are the others?
More or less shaken up, shocked, but haven't been to see Dash yet. Shaken up, shocked, generally okay, no big injuries. I think I might have taken the hardest hit, but not that bad. Indicates a sort of like light gash already healing along his arm.
Hold on a moment. Here, she's... Wait, hold on. Let me double check. Okay, restorative glows just for the scene. Yeah, she's going to nod her head and just sort of raise her hand, and crew will float over, and there will be that green glow, and the gash will just start mending, I guess.
Yeah. As crew is floating out of you, Percy, well, shit, Percy can't actually see it.
For this you can. Crew has to be visible to be doing this, yeah.
Okay,
Is
Cyber Ice.
is half the level round
I'm
down
sorry,
or
you're
round
right,
up?
Purge, you can't. Sorry, what were you saying, Lulu?
Yeah.
Is half the level round down or round up for restorative glow?
We'll round up. I think everything else is round up.
So I guess regain 13 hit points.
I feel like taking 12 damage.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Percy's healing up, Virgilia has mentioned that it's crew who does the like psionic stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Percy's gonna say, "How you holding up, crew?"
I'm going to go ahead and let crew speak through me.
Okay. Do you want me to run him?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you've been doing it all so far, so.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Well, crew doesn't say anything. But Virgilia, once he's finished with Percy and his return to nest in Virgilia, there's a sense of it's almost a meh, but it's not quite meh because that would seem to dismiss Virgilia's feelings about it. But there's definitely a kind of resigned. Resigned is the wrong word. Also, this didn't really mean much for crew. And I'll give you a little bit of insight that Virgilia might not have. Crew only hasn't done this more because well, it would have gotten Virgilia in a lot of trouble in in Tranquility. That's one
Yeah.
really big reason. But he mostly withholds his power because he doesn't want it to negatively affect Virgilia. There's not a whole lot of it doesn't bother him.
Right.
But he's trying not to let that be portrayed. He's trying not to make it seem like this is an okay thing. So the best he can do is just kind of give her a sense of a comforting hug from somebody who has killed thousands.
Yeah, I figured.
Jesus, crew.
She processes it a little bit, and the crew's doing okay. Percy, thank you for the thought.
Yeah, it's honestly that's Percy sort of scratches his head. Kind of what I expected. Like I'm not super surprised. But yeah, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't got to talk about it. I'm just gonna give you one piece of advice. Yeah, if you try not to think about it and process it during the day, it's gonna hit you when you try to sleep.
Good advice, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, like you have
Well,
you'll have crew to talk with it about at least. Piss sort of shrugs. If that's enough, then yeah, go to bed early.
I appreciate it, Percy. Thank you. Now then,
I'll leave you to your contemplation.
right. Let me know when the when the other guy wakes up, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Take care.
You too.
And Percy. Oh, if you do change your mind, you know roughly where to find me, ish.
Of course.
And he heads out.
I think Virgilia is just going to sit back and just like press her head to or press her hand to her forehead, and then maybe find some like ibuprofen or something for a start. She's not going to start drinking or anything, but she does feel a headache coming on.
Okay. Yeah.
She has going to wake up at least once during probably.
Yeah. Regardless, yeah. Until we set out with the ship to follow the sword, or the person in medbay wakes up, I think that's all I've got.
Okay. Is Percy gonna check in on Death? I don't want to spend too much longer on post combat, but I do feel like Death is an important stop there.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be a scene. I just like picked one name out of my head for someone who hadn't gone and seen yet. Yeah, Kendra, how is that doing?
It's important for me because I like this kind of role play, but I know that we also want to move forward, so I don't want to put you on the spot, Ginja, but I also want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I will.
Yeah. Remind me what parts of that happened before Das got between the crates.
Percy shot a dude.
Was it just Percy shot a dude? Is that it?
Yeah,
I think
you're
the
the second person to go.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
basically what I'm checking is, did I see the guy go splat? And I'm guessing the answer is no.
No, Virgilia went
Virgilia
after Death.
It's like you just come out and there is a.
I just emerged into the aftermath of the splat.
Yeah.
Yes.
The splat, is that what we're calling it?
Yes, that's what I'm calling it.
Splat maxing.
Yeah, I think Das is mostly fine. Like, it's clearly not a thing that she's particularly used to, but like, it's not the worst.
She was able to scramble her way to safety pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly.
relative
I think
safety.
if you'd had to be right in the middle of it, might have been different. But
There also, I guess, there really weren't very many shots exchanged. There were a couple of arrows and a few bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
far
really
as a,
actual gunshots. Yeah.
So far as a gunfight goes, that was not very gunny.
No, it was over very quick.
I mean,
yeah. They did
like
kind of bring swords to a gunfight.
I'm just saying, any fight that Percy gets into winds up being a gunfight by the end, pretty much.
Yes.
Now, to be fair,
exactly.
bringing the swords to a gunfight when you're in such close proximity is actually the superior tactic. This has been proven.
Unless the guy with the gun has close combat.
Right. He's a special case.
I was going to say, remind me how it went for that guy.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
roll.
Just like, I know the counters to the counters of my strategy.
All right. So, you've been summoned by Tajimashiro, and obviously this incident hasn't changed any of that because he doesn't know this happened.
And we can't really tell him it happened without revealing it was us that it happened to and then teleported away. So let's maybe not mention that so he doesn't know we have such a proficient teleporter on staff.
Yes. For now, at least.
Okay.
And nobody say that A1 is popping out for anything.
Are we being summoned before the sword can be investigated?
Well, he's already asked to meet you, and you guys were returning to the ship to go to that meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's possible that attack was initiated after that invite was sent. Like, it's possible the invite was the trigger for the attack.
Right.
Theoretically.
Okay.
Do you want Virgilia to follow up on the lead of the sword, or to go to the meeting?
I think I would prefer to have her at the meeting. Yeah. Ideally.
I'll go to the meeting then. I can follow up on the sword
I can see a good
afterwards.
argument either way.
Yeah.
I'll bring you over back to the ship screen.
If only someone other than me had talk skills.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason we needed you is that we don't.
Yes.
I talked myself out of a pickle before.
Yeah.
Two of them.
You did? Yeah.
I've talked zero.
And then you were in the middle.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Meryl.
Go. Okay. I was going to say, in fairness, you were in the middle of a bizarre crime scene and you rolled well enough to not be the most interesting thing there. I also have net +2 to my talk charisma.
I think that's the very definition of a pickle.
Yeah, that was a heck of a pickle.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Lulu?
I'm going to grab my coffee really quickly. I'll be back in like 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, it survived. The coffee survived.
Wait. If the coffee wasn't with him, and sounds, I could make an assumption that it just finished getting prepared, then
that's like an hour, yeah.
Yeah. I think Lulu's gonna be drinking coffee paste. Isn't that what it turns into before it rusts over? Anyways, there's a similar amount of pomp and circumstance as the last time. You know, it's there's no sparing the ceremony just because this is your second visit. This is still an official visit with the Dragon General, and so it still is treated with the same respect and honor as your first time going to him. You go into
the same amount of faff.
The same amount of what?
The same amount of faffing.
Yes.
Alright, got my stuff.
Right, British.
You meet
Story was
him
British for the come back.
in the same room with the same guards present. And he starts in pretty quickly once you've all seated. And he says, "I have considered your input and your words, and I have seen wisdom in delaying any action against Henry Station. This threat that you have presented in Tiamat, or Tiamat 77-7, is clearly an unknown factor that we must know more about. I still have a big request for you as the Raza, and that is that you mentioned you can trap Union in Tiamat. Don't know what method you have, but please do." And he details out the reward that he is the services and reward that he is prepared to extend for this. The 500,000 credits payment in priority services at Anox. They're available immediately. You don't have to use them immediately, but they are available immediately.
Okay.
And an additional 2 million credits as payment for the job. Sorry, not payment for the job, as a loan at Nox, to be authorized by the handler that you'll have with you on completion of the Tiamat job, but not available until 4 months have passed. I will break a go meta for a moment and tell you that that is kind of intended as a boon going into Darkstar War. But if this Darkstar Vacant continues on for the next 4 months, you'll have access to it.
Okay.
Okay.
And he also makes his requirement that an elite red dragon board the Raza. He says that this is a necessary record-keeping step on his part to make sure that he, as the Dragon General, is remaining accountable to the Emperor, his brother, his younger brother, and also as a kind of observer of what all is out there. He makes no secret that he also will be observing the Raza, but his main interest is what the fuck are we dealing with? The Raza says there's some strange shit going on, and so he needs to be on the Raza to see the strange shit going on.
Right. And then there is of course the ruins on Tiamat, which we wanted to investigate. And we did want to explore Onalau first.
We should make it clear that even with the before we use a method, we'll want to run some tests with it, which necessitates upgrades to the ship that the down payment won't cover. So we're not going to be going straight there. We're going to need to stop off a couple of other places, do some salvaging beforehand.
And there is the factor that there is something we may want to show you. Your offer is generous. Your offer is generous. Tajima-sama.
Dragon General Sama.
Dragon General Sama. Thank you.
There we go.
How am I the politically correct one here?
You
technically Tajima-sama is viable.
And you were wondering how we coped without you.
Hajima-kun.
Oh no!
I would be executed on the spot. Thank you.
So would you for that matter.
Hajima-chan.
Dead instantly. Instantly dead.
Yeah. But no.
Off with his everything.
There is a matter we could show your agent first that may convey the seriousness of what we reported before, and it's a place I wished to go when I set out with the Raza. But as Percy mentioned, our method, as generous as your offer is, the method we aim to test, I fear, may not be viable without a few upgrades to the ship, which, unfortunately, the advance payment doesn't quite cover. With that in mind, in order to ensure the success of the mission, could I persuade you to advance a small portion of the ladder loan to ensure we have those upgrades in place before we begin?
You are cheeky, aren't you?
Go ahead and roll me a trade charisma.
Can I convince you to do talk here? I'm not doing merchant stuff.
I mean, you kind aren't you? Aren't you?
Well, I'm arguing. I'd argue in favor of talk.
You're arguing for an exchange of goods and services. Remind me how this isn't trade.
I'll let you roll talk here, but there will be consequences.
Are you? What would the consequence be?
Higher DC probably.
Yeah, unless it's well, whatever. Here,
No,
real quick.
As usual, it just changes kind of the flavor of how the results are processed. That's all.
Yeah. Real quick for you. Okay, I was gonna say real quick.
Reroll the one.
Yeah, go. Well, what's the barrel?
I was gonna say real quick before you roll this. You're negotiating an exchange of goods for services. Remind me how this isn't a trade roll.
I can accept it on the premise that he is trying to convince Tajima that your value is greater than he has estimated.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's a 13.
Yeah, I like the skills to be flexible, so I agree with you on the funny point of it, Viral. How is this not a trade roll, Lulu?
Yeah, I'm mostly just busting Lulu's balls over it.
Yeah.
As a 13, that is pretty good. And the talk component also comes in saying it in a way that is not offensive. Now, trade would obviously also cover that. But the consequence of using talk instead of trade is that he agrees, but on one condition. That you let INF technicians perform an audit of the Raza to inspect how much he needs to front.
Virgilia is going to shrug and look over at the rest of the Raza because she's got less stake in it than the Raza crew does, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine the rest of the Raza crew who are here, like the wind changing, we turn and look at Doug.
I feel like Doug's just gonna growl, but nothing else.
So, to put it into metamechanical terms, it will take extra time. It'll take them 3 days to complete the audit. But they'll, as long as they can pass a difficulty 6 skill check, which should be easy for them as skilled professionals.
Why would you say that?
They will be able to accurately assess how much work the Raza needs done, and Tajima will front that amount.
Yeah. Okay. We should clarify, the weapons need fixing. The weapons are not the priority here. It's the drive upgrades that are needed, and we have the pre-tech for it. We just need the raw parts.
Yeah, and I may
Do
have.
we, are we,
Real quick,
are
I
we
may
sure we
have
want to
not
go
said it.
to?
Go ahead, Ginja.
Are we sure we want to go to Drive 6 without all the guns operational? That was the thing we were talking about when we were working out priorities.
I believe. Fair point. If we can convince them into it, then sure. But I believe that we have a weapon which changes the nature of ship combat enough that we don't need the guns so much.
And the part that I thought but I don't think that I said, is the amount that he's willing to pay extra is just for the drive repairs.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll also consider that to be your maintenance cycle refreshed. So
nice.
A little bit extra benefit to it, but still.
Yeah, that's still good. But yeah, I figure that if we can get the extra drive repairs now, that'll be the most important thing. At least in the short term. Because if the question is between drive repairs or nothing, let's do the drive repairs.
Yeah, I think, essentially, we can hopefully get our drive repairs funded.
Plus, there's the factor that going up to Drive 6 will have all of our travel times for for things, so it makes getting the parts for everything else a little bit easier. So that's where I'm coming from, but yeah.
All right, so it sounds like everyone is in agreement with that. The ship will be audited, and you will have a not entirely sure how to pronounce it. Mason, Masen.
Mason,
Wu.
I think.
Is it Mason?
Maybe? Not sure.
Is it a soft
Masen?
Yeah. I guess she'll say as they go ahead. We would be, of course, be honored if you did so, Tajima-sama. Though, of course, you're aware of the nature of the Raza's work, so we must, of course, swear your auditor to secrecy outside of this group in this room.
Of course. This is what my my name generator provided to me.
Okay.
So, because it's based on Masaru or Masaki, I think the pronunciation would probably be Masen.
Masen. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect for a soldier or a tactical AI.
Is that what he is?
Yeah.
So the auditors will arrive in a few hours. Masen Wu is making preparations, but will not be boarding the ship until you're ready to leave. He has other duties that he's attending to until then. What are you going to do about the bodies?
Phenomenal question.
If we've got a few extra days here anyway, that's great time to investigate the sword stuff.
And then we can just chuck them out of the airlock at some point.
Well, okay, let me rephrase my question. You've got auditors coming onto your ship to inspect everything.
I see.
Yeah.
They're not looking at just the drive. They're looking at the overall. They're doing a full-on audit of the ship.
Will they be auditing the fighter as we take that down?
No, probably not.
No, we can just stuff them in the freezer in there then for a while.
I'm not sure we have a freezer in there, but I might be able to jury rig something up.
It occurs to me that we should definitely mention to Kami that hiding out in like the nacelles by the reactor is not going to work. We're going to need to find you somewhere else to hide.
Oh, there's a passenger seat in the Dark Horizon.
gonna be
Fantastic.
uncomfortable for a while.
Fantastic.
But, you know.
Yeah. What about Elise and Myokin?
That'll be perfect.
They're probably not going to be going into people's quarters, right? That's like privacy stuff. What are the odds that they audit everyone's bedroom?
Greater than 0.
I think that they're treating this
I know,
as a military ship that they're auditing, and they are going to inspect bedrooms. Yes.
Okay then.
You can probably
yeah,
make an argument to them to make it a token or visual inspection only, because you're not a UIS or INF ship.
And
Yeah.
also, perhaps, provide a schedule.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Argue that these
warning.
non-mechanical portions of the audit where the areas clearly do not impact the functioning of the ship, which is the purpose of the audit, disrespects them as allies and is dishonorable.
Yeah, just I maybe we wouldn't go that far, but just like what's like just keep it
Look,
closer. You know?
I'm used to L5R, and making that sort of argument is bread and butter. You have to exploit the bullshit.
I mean, I suppose, but remind me which two out of us three have made a diplomatic trip up while talking to Taj Mashiro today.
That's fair.
Messing with you. Yeah, if they're not convinced, we can bust out the dishonor on your family argument. We'll call that Plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Trying to figure out where exactly we put Myokin and Elise, because ideally not on the ship while the ship is being audited, but at the same time, where then?
Dark Horizon is again an option.
How many do you find in that?
It's got a
it's
max
4?
crew of 2.
Oh, I thought it was 4.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the other one.
And it doesn't have any actual cargo space.
You're not flying into a combat situation, though. You might be able to fit more in there, right?
Yeah, you can. The max crew really is.
I know we've seen more people in something like that before.
Yeah. It's closer to reality for a small ship like that, because it's as much an indication of how much the ship can support as it is how much space the ship has for human activity. But yeah, you can fit easily 4 people, probably 6 if you wanted to, and then basically just be sitting in close proximity. It's not going to be terribly uncomfortable, but there's.
It'd probably be a little uncomfortable. It'd probably be like long term. The life support wouldn't keep up or something like that too. But
no,
right, but we're not doing like a deep space mission.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's probably fine then.
You'd be stressing the life support if you tried to go for more than a few hours needing life support. But if you take it down to the planet, you're refreshing. You're not gonna run into any difficulties there. If you're keeping it on the Raza, you can still use Raza's life support. You're not going to run into any problems.
Okay, yeah, I think since you're flying out anyway and we have plausible deniability, let's shove on the people who cannot afford to be seen by UIS right now. That's one problem. Another is their quarters, which just get them to tidy up as much as possible, as quickly as possible, and then dip. Another is the logs. Their names are all over it, and it would be difficult to replace,
Would it be? Verdas?
Would it?
Find your place. It's easy.
Sure, but suspicious that way to make a pile of people, and they might look into those people and find out they don't exist.
I think Dash could
Can we
probably
just
come up with a solution for that.
replace logs with any other person that might be plausible to be? Because we don't really care about actual record keeping vis-a-vis that specific aspect.
We trust each other, right?
Yeah.
It's a very trusting ship.
Yeah,
we could just replace them.
And then Dex
I'm
later
sure,
on can punish us when we're like saying, "Oh shit, check those records."
No, I'm sure Das would have the capability to adjust the records to say whatever we want, but keep a log of like what has changed on her personal thing,
Oh yes.
like
Keep the incriminating
encrypted.
evidence just in case.
You have full access
Um,
to the computer, so I'm happy to say that you can code up something that will, at the terminals that you allow them to be on. Well, I guess that they're going to want terminals. It doesn't really matter. I'm making a distinction, an unnecessary distinction. I don't think it would be difficult for Das to write something that adjusts what they see in real time instead of actually changing your logs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, we'll have you womaning, girling the terminals. We'll have you girling the terminals. Well,
And if you don't like that solution, Ginja, then I will backtrack and simply say it's just going to be a difficulty 12, I think, check for Das. Program, not hacking.
Yeah, I mean, live would be fine. Either way. I want to make sure that they don't see what we don't want them to see, and then we have the normal logs afterwards.
Yeah, and
Whatever the easiest way to do that is.
I'll give you the narrative freedom to decide how that is. I'm not too concerned about the method as long as it's realistic, given the constraints of your ship and all that. And the only input I'm having on that is make it realistic and make a DC 12 check.
Yep.
I know DC 12 on 2d6 is pretty high. You sure you can manage that?
On how many d6? Sorry, you said not hacking, right?
Not hacking, correct.
Okay, so 3 dice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do that. That was a 15.
Yeah. And you know what? There's an argument that could be made that it's even easier to do this than actually changing the logs, which the ship doesn't want you to change, maybe.
Yeah.
Which to me? I was going to say something realised it's not true. I mean.
Yeah. But like I said, Das has full access to the computer, so this wasn't a difficult ask for her. All right, so that shores up the logs. They're not going to see anything about people or events that you don't want them to. You're piling the bodies into the Dark Horizon. Are you going to make a refrigeration unit so that they don't rot before everyone else's eyes?
Yeah, that's
Doug slot one to go?
Doug will.
Okay. And he's trying to make it small and compact so that it can fit on the Dark Horizon without taking up too much person space, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like a difficulty 10 fix check to me within.
All right.
Unless you're wanting to use creative for that. I don't remember if I set difficulties on that, did I?
Not on the creative one.
Okay.
Why is my sheet not loading?
Oh, you're probably going to want to use creative anyways because this is something that would probably take more than an hour to build without creative.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good thing you have it.
How much? I guess how many parts have I used in here? Probably nothing, not significant.
Let me take a look at some of the equipment here. Group. Equipment.
10.
Let's see. We'll treat this as a porta box and pressure tent with a little bit extra. So 200 credits. It's only going to be 4 spare parts.
Oh, so it was a distraction from the Raza.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're just about to squeeze UIS for a bunch of money for spare parts anyway. We're good.
All right. And yeah, a 10 succeeds, and you can fit a refrigeration freezing unit, really, into the Dark Horizon, hook it into the power, and keep it out of the way enough. People are going to have to squeeze past it, so anybody that knows what's in there knows that they're squeezing past a corpse freezer. Or corpsicle, if you prefer.
We're gonna have to explain Beth too, or is Beth able to stay out of sight?
Beth is on the Dark Horizon, so if the Dark Horizon is going away.
Oh.
Oh, so we already had that set up. Oh, okay. I didn't think we had it. Okay.
That's what I was
All
thinking
right.
earlier.
Well, bear
If
with
she,
it,
was-
just
if she was
one
on,
death. Sorry about the dead bodies that we're keeping on here.
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking of earlier. If Beth had been on the ship, then she probably could have helped with the logs.
And if
No,
we give
I
her
think-
access.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you guys decided you did not want her to have access.
Not yet. Not yet.
Um,
Yeah.
but you've led her onto the Dark Horizon. And I don't remember if I said there was going to be a spare parts cost to it. If I did and you paid it, great. If I did and you didn't, oops. If I didn't and there should have been, oops. So,
No, I don't remember either.
yeah.
I don't think we ever paid anything for it, but also I don't think you ever asked us to.
I think they're minor enough modifications. It just, I think it just has to be specific modifications, but I don't necessarily need them to cost anything. Like, you have to prepare the ship to receive the AI.
Yeah.
The AI can't just take over the ship. That's the main
I mean,
point that I'm.
the price for us is having to trust the AI.
Yes, yeah, there you go. And as the popsicle, I am combining popsicle with cubicle there, although it's very difficult to tell.
Right?
As the popsicle is being installed, Beth does have some things to say, but they're mostly along the lines of, "Cool, I've got dead bodies now. These are mine. I
Like you always
claim them."
wanted. Okay. Well, I was just joking with her. They said you always wanted, but
Okay.
damn. I hope this doesn't awaken anything in you.
It has awakened a bloodlust that will wash the sector in tides of blood.
Alright.
This one
Yeah,
is
you'll
named
be
Bob.
fine.
No, it's just gonna put the little mental check mark. Disable the weapons on the Dark Horizon.
Well, I'm glad she's having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yep. She's
I'm
named
not
one
actually
of them
gonna do
Bob
it,
and said
because
that the
I'm
other one
going to-
doesn't have a name. Sorry, what was that, Miokin?
No, never mind. I'm probably not actually going to disable the weapons on it, but you know,
Oh, okay.
I will. You know, it's like great. Actually, no. Yeah, he's gonna just that kind of say, "All right, note to self: disable weapons on Dark Horizon."
No, you can't do that. Bob needs his weapons.
Wait, Bob.
Bob is part of me now.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's Virgilia's problem now.
Well, it's fine.
But yeah, she named one of the corpses Bob and has declared that the other one does not have a name.
He's now
Okay.
a Bobsicle.
Yep. Terrific.
All right. And that clears up the issues that you would have with the auditors. So really, the only cost now is it's going to take a couple more days.
I mean, you say it's cleared up the issues that we'd have with the auditors. It's cleared up the issues that we've thought of so far.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Till Dex thinks of something else.
Right.
The temptation to do a pre-mortem is battling with the strong desire to not give you ideas.
Ideas. Let's go with that.
Well, I'll put on record
I mean, what last
that
time?
I'll put on record that I consider the problems that the auditors might have encountered to be resolved, and I won't add any more.
I'm willing to fall for that one.
Trust you.
I do not make any claims whatsoever if you create new issues. If you do, that is on you, and I will run with them.
Okay, everyone talk to the auditors as little as possible and as professionally as possible.
All right. We've got about 10 minutes left. Do you want to spend that with Virgilia going down to the planet with a couple of people that are trying to avoid the planet and seeking out, following the compass to her internal compass, that memory? Well, the crew compass,
Oh dear.
the crumpus.
Oh dear. The Crumpus.
Yeah. To be clear, you won't be able to keep let's do this. How many people do you have on the Dark Horizon?
4, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm gonna put
Yeah, I mean,
gas back in the vent.
technically, 5 plus 2 empty ones, because Beth is there.
That's true.
That's going here. Doug's going
Alright.
there.
And Bob.
That's one of the empty ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, Libra's personhood has been an underlying current throughout the whole background of this campaign. We can't just then turn around and forget Beth when we're talking to people.
Yeah.
Is Beth sophisticated enough to be possessed by a Vega? I wonder. That's terrifying. That is terrifying, actually.
You don't like that idea.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. And, yeah, I accidentally gave Dex an idea anyway. Sorry, guys.
Right.
Well, I mean, it can't be worse than Android being possessed.
And Tit.
Was the android
Right.
possessed?
Well,
Based on the information that you have, I will give you some clues. You know that android can be possessed because they have the equivalent, a parallel, effectively the same neural response system that humans have. They have a silicon brain equivalent. It is basically a human brain, but built with better materials. But all the functioning neural connections and things were just mimicked. Somebody decided when they're making android brains, this trineural wetware brain, that human brains are pretty damn good, and mimicked it as closely as they could. All the way down to the spinal column and the nerve connections, the electronic nerve connections, but still nerve connections through silicon to other parts of the body. That's how androids can be possessed, is because they basically have an artificial construction of human brain and spinal column. Beth doesn't have that, but there are computers that can be made with that same kind of silicon brain analog. So, your Beth can't be possessed. I'm not telling you
Another
whether
good.
other Beths or AIs could be.
We do know there's at least one other Beth out there.
Do we?
the Beth from this cycle.
Suppose so, yeah. Huh. Oh god, there's 2 of them, can you imagine?
I can.
I can't
Wait.
I can't tell whether I think Beth would immediately get into like a lethal sarcasm deal with herself, or whether they would just do a digital equivalent of shaking hands and going about their business.
Actually, now that you've read enough, I'm actually going to ask Beth. Hey, Beth.
Has Beth already been in touch with other Beth?
Yeah, have you
Good
tried
question.
contacting? I think she's April this cycle, but yeah.
Okay. I think she's April this cycle. Was that in character?
Yes.
I am April.
Right, but have you tried getting in contact with the April from this cycle?
Her name was Beth, and I ate her.
Oh.
Okay.
See, you don't even know if it's real or not.
Yeah, you don't, but I also wouldn't put it past her.
Right?
I'm just accepting it.
Does that mean you like if we take that at face value, does that mean that the Beth of the last cycle has been subsumed?
Yep, sounds like it.
It raises more questions, and I just and it's just
Is it- I do hope, like with it, I am April, I ate her. I sure hope that our April, doesn't have identity issues over this.
Honestly, there's like an 80% chance there's like a 95% chance she's
yeah, it's
bullshitting.
95% chance it's bullshit, but that
Yeah, I know.
5% chance is concerning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
The 5%. The 5% chance raises a whole lot of concerning questions.
That is
Fortunately,
very
she's
close to
bullshitting this
20.
time. Wasn't it?
I can see the 20
she's
from here.
Yeah, so she's probably bullshitting. Probably. However.
Yeah, I mean, almost certainly. Almost.
Almost.
But imagine.
That's the issue now, isn't it?
In fairness,
No, you know what? I don't care enough right now to imagine.
So anyways, I think we're not going down to the planet to investigate now, huh?
Yeah.
I can give you a
In fairness-
cliffhanger in 5 minutes if you want me to take the reins here real quick.
Sure.
Ooh, actually, that would be pretty good.
One more comment. I don't think even Beth is messed up enough that her first instinct upon meeting herself would be eating herself.
Maybe
I don't
that's
know, maybe
maybe
it's
that's
different
just what
for
you're like
AIs.
if you. Maybe that's just what happens if you meet yourself from a previous cycle. Your instincts go crazy. You are overwhelmed with the desire to eat yourself. And going to Onolau is going to get
Yeah, we're
very
gonna find out.
interesting here.
Yeah, we'll find out when we get to what happens.
Yeah.
More like
up
on
to
the
Julie.
chow, am I right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
have fun.
So,
Yep.
there are going to be a couple of checks here. Virgilia takes the Dark Horizon down. Shadow will go with you, by the way, if you want.
Sure. I don't know who Shadow is, but okay.
That's our good pilot.
She
Okay.
is a pilot that is
Wow.
going to make this a very stealthy mission.
All right. Yeah. Then perfect.
It's our backup legendary pilot, you know.
Yeah, your backup legendary pilot. Except, I'm sorry, Lulu, she doesn't look like that. Looks like that. So somebody that Virgilia has never seen, basically.
All right.
And
That's fine.
Oh, but she has a button nose.
yep. So is
Which, in fairness, Shadow is a suitably legendary pilot that it makes sense that she would be our primary pilot.
why don't somebody go ahead and pull up her sheet and roll a skill check for reaching the ground undetected. Sorry, I should ask. Are you trying to go down undetected?
Yeah.
Curious how
Sure.
viable that is with that fighter. That sounds like that's a viable option with that.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I think we're trying to keep
Though
this stealthy.
It has stealth
That was
capabilities.
yeah, that was kind of the point of getting this fighter as opposed to all the other fighters.
Well, I wasn't sure how it works against like planetary. I knew like in space, but I wasn't sure if you could land.
Like
We've done it before.
yeah, the planet can try to detect, but you've got emission dampers which add a +2. Don't add the plus in your roll. Blah.
And then you've got Shadow.
And then you've got Shadow.
That's
So
basically Shadow's specialty.
yeah. Who's making a skill check for her? All right, Lulu, you're making the skill check for her.
Okay, sure. Fine. Skill, she's going to get a +1 on this for Virgilia being here.
And a +2 for the emission dampers.
So 3 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's fine.
Wow. Wow.
Oh dear.
I've never seen a skill roll that high.
We've all lost ourselves here.
Hang on. The planet has gets to roll.
Oh, Dex, that's hilarious. The planet. I do love how you changed that from the planet has a chance to the planet gets a roll.
Yeah, the planet gets a roll that can roll at max 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shadow
I
makes
don't
it.
think I need to pull out the dice stats to work out the chance of them detecting.
No, I don't think you do. Yeah.
Jesus. You know, this is possibly the craziest that I've had a group of people going over on that 20.
If
Which is
we
fair,
wanted to, we could have given her a help action and then an eclectic memory help action.
But we
We could have gotten that up
didn't
to a
know it was
22 if we wanted to.
but we didn't because we didn't know it was going to be this insane,
Yeah.
and that's okay, honestly.
Shadow makes it look very easy to slip between the sensor bands of various planetary sensors, which, by the way, are supposed to be able to track everything out in the solar system, down to tennis ball-sized asteroids floating around.
Oh, that's adorable. Look at them go. They're trying their best.
Yeah, they really are. They are. It's cute. And she can kind of pick landing just about anywhere. Obviously, she can't land in the middle of a city. There are some limitations here.
We're
there are
following the
limitations.
sword right now.
Oh, the sword.
And following the sword takes you outside the city, into the countryside, and towards an estate. Looks like the kind of estate that a one of the elite nobles, such as they are in this society, they've gained prestige in their family and honor through service usually. And that's where your trail is leading you.
Okay.
Yeah, Shadow's able to put the Dark Horizon down in the fairly unspoiled wilderness outside of the estate. Again, a little bit farther away because although Shadow is able to evade all kinds of sensory detection, the human eye can still see a shuttle touching down 10 feet away. So, that is a really good point that you helped me make there, Doug. Kana does recognize this as the estate of a Leoka Chen. Lady Leoka was an opponent of Emperor Hideyoshi's more softer, peaceful ways. The assassinated emperor was trying to position UYS and Shinobu as a benevolent shield. And the opposition to that was an imperialist movement, wanting Shinobu to act more aggressively and to take stars, take systems. Luka Chen was a lady in support of that movement, but didn't do anything to, actually support any kind of violence or it was all within the law as far as supporting this movement goes. Nobody did anything illegal. The sword is still leaving you here. The memories imprinted on the sword are still leading you here to a clearing outside the estate. Clearly the kind of place that clandestine meetings are designed to take place, or designed for clandestine meetings to take place. And as you're approaching it, all of your various efforts to keep watch out suggest that you are in the clear, that there's nobody that's seen the shuttle come down, and nothing that's detecting your movement through this untouched woodland. And if anything I'm describing is something that you say that Virgili wouldn't do, please stop me.
Okay.
As you're approaching this, the memory of the sword is very strong. I'm going to scroll back. Actually, could you repost it, Nemoka Nation?
Yes, here we go. Let me bloop.
All right. As you've already discerned, this is a particularly powerful memory. and it is kind of calling to you as you're approaching. It's distorting your vision just slightly as you get nearer to it. This is a pretty normal effect for when you're near an object in the same location as its strong memory. It doesn't have any mechanical effect. It's just kind of narratively things seem a little bit more blue in shade.
Okay.
And I should write a section, a line into Mnemocognition that holding the compass, the trail, means you keep that effort committed until you release it. But it's all been the same day for you, so that's not an issue here. But just keep that in mind that if you want to hold a trail multiple days, you'll have to keep that effort committed.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and release that commitment. It's still committed for the day. To view that memory right now, if you want.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
All right. You are seeing the face of the dead man. You because of crew, you're not just seeing it from the perspective of a person or the sword if it had eyes. You're just seeing the whole scene. You can be anywhere in it that you want. And there are formal greetings. It is Leoka Chen greeting Haozumi Ken. His name doesn't really matter to you too much. But his expression of consternation might is speaking with Leoka Chen. And you see over the span of a few minutes, she effectively contracts his services to act on her command as a favor for something that she holds over him and his family, some dishonor that she knows about. It's not spoken, but you can see that he is struggling with this. But he does agree. He, in local Shinobu parlance, his actions at this meeting would be dishonorable. He is traitorous. Because he is acting against the interests of excuse me of the INF. He is actually still in the INF at this time. Wouldn't be traitorous if he wasn't. He can, he's got some freedom of choice there. There are stiffer penalties for it though. But no, he's still a member, an active INF member, and the job that the gist of what she's asking is that he work with some of her own associates who are not part of INF, and should the one known as Sarah Bramford ever return to Shinobu, then to appease Union, kill her, and bring Lady Chen her head. And if you can't kill her, kill all of her associates. Make her pay for coming back. This was months ago, this meeting.
Okay. Sarah Bramford was on our crew.
She
correct?
goes by Elise right now.
Yeah.
She's Elise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah.
Okay.
Took a new name because, she didn't like the old one. And
Yeah.
she always had different names.
Uh-huh.
All right, so she was targeting Elise.
Yes, who was not with us at the moment, but yeah.
What you see in this, well, does Virgilia discuss it with the people present? Because not Kana, sorry, Kami has agreed to leave the ship with her. I don't know about Kana.
Yeah, I believe she would.
Well, Nox has to decide that. Oh, Virgilia does discuss it. Yes, sorry, my bad. I leapt 2 thoughts ahead of myself.
Yes.
Okay. Then, yeah, Kami can reveal that working with the Union is also traitorous. You have on your own personal evidence that Leoka Chen is working with the Union against the interests of the Emperor.
Okay. In that case, we should probably do something with this.
And this was a very strong memory for Ken because it is the day that he turned traitorous and lost all of his honor.
All right. In that case, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call back to the Raza command staff with this information. Say, well, are you feeling up to report this to Tajimashiro, or are you more interested in a bit of blackmail?
Let's address that in a future session because I've already taken more than the 5 minutes I said.
How dare. But yeah.
Right. I don't like closing without asking everyone if there's anything else that you do want to address. So I will allow you to respond to that if that's what you want to address. But aside from that, I'll go ahead and put up the stream ending card. Well, the review card now.